character. Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. And even if I get in trouble, ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world.
Yeah, we in here. So I can't wait to get this started on this one here. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. I think I am. I see myself moving a little bit on the screen. So let's get right on to it. We had a good discussion that was going down earlier on last time around on the last episode, and I wanted to make sure that I pick up on it for this one. So this is kind of just picking up on what I came across during Essence Festival, and this was this idea about protection. So let me go ahead and play this because I know that not all of y'all were here for that and were available. So let's go ahead and play this real quick, and then I'll go back and I'll circle back in on it. I'll be right back to it after y'all check out this clip.
Conversation for me was so transformative was because I was living in a world as a Black queer woman, born and raised in the South, that truly did not believe that there was a Black man that would protect me, if there was no opportunity for him to potentially have some level of sexual connection to me. That was my truth. And I was doing this work out of that truth for myself because I didn't believe it was possible. And so in this conversation, I had an opportunity to be transformed within myself because I am able to see that that is something I took on in myself because of my own trauma, of the things I experienced for myself, that I no longer wanted to be my reality. So what these Black men didn't realize that they were doing for me, and what I didn't even realize that they were doing for me, was giving me an opportunity to release that trauma. So if that is happening for me, as a Black woman who's been doing this work for 20 years, imagine what it can do for so many other Black women holding so many other things.
So that's just a little bit of the background there from what we were discussing. And I noticed that this is like, basically, it's a reoccurring theme. So I heard here a familiar message that Black men need to protect Black women, not only their wives, not only their daughters, not their sisters, not their mothers, not even their relatives. Black men were told that they have a general obligation to protect Black women, even women who they don't know, women who have no relationship with them, women who may feel no reciprocal obligation to respect us. And typically they don't. Strange women don't respect us. They just don't. Now, on the surface, that sounds honorable, okay? Most decent men don't want to see Black women harmed. Most Black men don't want to see Black women endangered or mistreated or even humiliated. But there's a problem. There's a problem with the way that demand normally is presented. They want Black men to provide protection without authority, responsibility without influence, sacrifice without reciprocity, and intervention without the right to offer correction. That arrangement doesn't produce protection. It produces liability because the real protection is not limited to stepping in after the danger has already arrived. Protection is also preventative. The majority of protection is preventative. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's identifying dangerous patterns before the consequences occur. It's setting boundaries. It's warning somebody that the road that they're traveling may not lead to where they think it's leading to. And sometimes protection requires saying something that the other person doesn't really want to hear. That's where the modern conversation breaks down. I recently saw a clip involving a black male Uber driver and a group of black women riding in his car. Let me go ahead and play this one. Shout out to Passport OG and fair use, I guess. Maybe fair use. Let me see. Let's go ahead and play this.
About don't cuss.
They're trying to take our right.
They told me to stop talking on the phone.
You said we can't even like.
And I am so sick and tired of fucking men. Fuck. Now I'm about to keep cussing.
Okay, that's fine, Charles.
But make sure you
fuck. That's our fucking names. I go back. You're a body batter bastard. I go back.
It's crazy. We didn't do anything disrespectful.
You're gonna let us out the side of the road. We're black women. You're a black king. You're supposed to protect us, but you're not.
Okay.
You're not.
Exactly.
Okay, so all I ask.
You're supposed to protect black women. You just picked us up from the hospital.
This
Exactly.
is not anything about protecting or not protecting. You get in, you start cussing, and I say, ladies, please, language, please. And you say,
We're grown women. We're grown
There's no
women.
fucking timeout. Cancel the
We're
ride.
grown women.
All right,
Okay, make sure you, after
please
you
exit the
cancel,
vehicle.
because I'm not going to pay. You're
Please
definitely not getting your
please
tip.
exit the vehicle.
Oh yeah, hold on. Because you're not even in a Tesla. He's driving the wrong car, Uber.
That's fine.
He's driving the
Please exit
the app
We're
says
exiting
Tesla.
the vehicle.
Please exit the vehicle.
No problem. Ashay, I hope everything good finds you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Better not make.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So not only did they refuse to heed his boundary, they spoke disrespectfully to him. They kept on cursing. They rejected his boundary entirely. Instead of recognizing that it was his vehicle, and instead of recognizing that it was his boundary, they attempted to shame him. The argument became, can you put black women out of your car while you're a black man? Are you supposed to protect us? Think about this whole thing logically. Like he couldn't even establish a boundary. He couldn't even establish a boundary in his own car. Oh, what's up, Naima? I see you had something to say on there. Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird outfit you had too. But yeah, so they were not required to respect his rules, even though they were in his space. They were not required to respect his property. They were not required to respect him, but he was still supposedly required to protect them. His blackness created an obligation for him. Their blackness created an exemption for them. That's not a community. That's a one-way service contract that man never agreed to. He never signed that. And this is where we need to distinguish between protection and from submission. Protecting a woman does not mean surrendering your boundaries to her. It doesn't mean allowing her to insult you, disrespect your property, or destabilize your environment because she belongs to the same racial group. A man who cannot enforce order in his own space is not being protective. He's being dominated. And if black women want black men to intervene when they're vulnerable, there must be some recognition of black male judgment before a crisis occurs. You can't just tell a man that he has no right to question your decisions, no right to establish standards, no right to criticize your behavior, and no right to withdraw his participation. Because that claim, that then claiming his service when those decisions produce danger is ridiculous. I saw another clip of a black woman who appeared to be on a first date with a white guy while they were jogging together. Now, let me just go ahead and play this for y'all. And we're going to, and then I'm going to give a little bit more commentary on the back end after this one. Yeah, the entitlement is for real. It's crazy, Naima. I see you too, Tunnel Runner. Let me get to this real quick. Make sure that I can find it. Let me see if it's on this one. Here's the one. Let me play that there.
it.
I wanted to record that.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
All right. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all see that? All right. Now, I'm not going to I notice sometimes these things can sometimes be skits or whatever. But that, first off, shout out to Only Logical. But this is stuff that will actually happen sometimes. Like the lady, she's jogging. The dude is basically leaving her behind, like running so far in front of her, basically leaving her behind. So they're jogging together on the first date, which is kind of interesting in the first place. But then he ends up making this joke about deleting her. Yeah, this is where I was going to delete you. And that's supposed to be considered cute. She appeared uncomfortable, but afterwards she still wanted to see him again. Now, maybe he believed that this was some dark humor. Maybe she thought that it was some dark humor too. But maybe this clip here, it points out something. A strange joke is about danger. It kind of might seem as some small violation or whatever. But if this could be interdicted before it becomes a crisis. It's a disturbing comment. It's a boundary test. It's an expression of contempt that could be disguised as humor. And instead of taking that as a warning sign, it's dismissed as the person being cute or exciting or different or socially desirable. This goes back to that whole status thing. That whole status thing really has an impact. If that were a black man that did that, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Nah. It's perceived differently. What exactly are black men expected to do with that? Are black men permitted to say a decision appears reckless? Are we allowed to question why obvious warning signs are being rationalized? Are we allowed to discuss the media, fantasies, and dating ideologies and the status incentives that shape those decision-making? Are we permitted to appear during the final act only after the warning sign has been ignored? And risk our own safety to clean this thing up and deal with the consequences? Because that's not protection. That's emergency response. And we're not all emergency responders, okay? And no intelligent society builds that an entire safety system around emergency response. They also have some preventative maintenance. It's just not intelligent to just go with emergency response only. Every functioning system has prevention in it. Everyone. We use guardrails before the car leaves the road. We use inspections before buildings collapse. We use screens and screening. We use screening processes before a disease becomes a progressive pandemic. We establish standards before damage occurs. But when black men attempt to apply that same preventative logic to relationships, culture, dating, or even public behavior, we're often told that we're being controlling, we're being insecure, we're being patriarchal, we're being possessive, or we're being misogynistic. So that same society that demands black male protection routinely dismantles the tools to make that protection a reality. This creates an impossible role. Black men are told you cannot police what women watch. You cannot question what they celebrate. You cannot deal with the ideologies that they adopt. You cannot establish expectations for women who are not directly connected to you, and even the ones that are directly connected to you. You cannot tell them what environments may be unsafe. You cannot withdraw support when being accused of abandoning the community, without being accused of abandoning the community. But when something goes wrong, you are asked, where are the black men? The answer is that black men were removed from the decision-making process. We were retained as designated cleanup crew. That cannot continue. I see that. I see the chat is getting active there. What's up, Landon? Man, it's good to see you. I mean, it is so good to see you here. Same thing for all of y'all that came up in here. Tunnel Runner, Namer. Man, we're going to have a good conversation when we get ready to chop this one up. Hey, what's up, Indigo Flow? Good to see you. Salute. We were recently shown Black women celebrating yet another highly visible interracial couple over there on Love Island. I don't have like a caption of that, but like, let me just go ahead and just kind of like show you this. You've kind of seen this 100 times over, but let's just see this.
Yeah. Dark-skinned Black woman being yearned for and loved out loud by someone that looks like Nick. It's like, this is beautiful. Like, this is like healing the world in a sense.
Yeah, so there's that. And then there's how the ladies respond to it, and how they respond to it looks a whole lot like this.
For us, and white men are. The only thing that I'm learning from this season of Love Island is that fuck that you a white man. Look, I understand, I know, but the way that I just love how Bryce and Trinity are boyfriend and girlfriend now, and it's like, fuck with you a white man, because he ain't gonna play with you. You see how Corbin doing, you see how KC doing, get you a white man.
Bryce love him some motherfucking Black women.
What's your opinion? What's the difference between dating a white guy and a black guy, in your opinion?
From my personal experience, I feel white men know how to treat a lady. There is a large conversation online about Black women dating white men, and that white men are the low-key saviors to Black women. They give Black women the soft life. If you can't find a Black man, run over to the white man. Even if you can find a Black man, go get you a white man, live you a soft life, and everything.
Yeah, it's like that. It's worse than that. I'm giving you like the soft version of it. So that's what it is. At the same time, there's a public anger from some white men over images of Black women representing Helen of Troy. And so, I mean, it's amazing how the fantasy disconnects from the reality of the way that they see Black women. Because the way that they see Black women often looks a whole lot like this.
Where is Helen? Bring her to me! Achilles! I'm here! Shit.
What took y'all so damn long? Do you understand how long I've been waiting in this city? Don't you know I'm the most beautiful damn woman in the whole damn world? 10 years of war, and not one of y'all thought to check inside.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they kind of forgot about that part. But hey, fantasy, got to have that swirl of fantasy. So they were upset about a Black woman portraying Helen of Troy, a figure associated with beauty, desire, and civilization conflict. These reactions reveal something deeper. Images are not neutral. Romantic imagery is not neutral. Representation is not neutral. The story a group celebrates influences whom it trusts, who it desires, whom it considers prestigious, and whom it views as an obstacle. Black men are often told that we should ignore these images. And so we can't tell them what to watch. We can't tell them what to allow to permeate their psyche. And here's the thing. We're told, oh, it's just television. It's only casting. It's only dating shows. It's only a joke. It's only personal preference. But then Black men are expected to respond collectively when those consequences become collective. You cannot simultaneously say Black men need to have no legitimate interest in the cultural programming influencing Black women, while also arguing that Black men have a racial obligation to defend the outcomes created by that programming. The two positions contradict each other. And to be clear, Black men don't own Black women. Black women are adults. They have the right to choose their own thing, their entertainment, their worldview, their lifestyle, but adult freedom carries adult responsibility. Autonomy means that you own not only your choices, but also the risk associated with those choices. You cannot demand complete independence when making the decision, then invoking the collective obligation when it's time to pay the cost. That's not autonomy. That's privatized choice combined with socialized consequences. And Black men must stop accepting that arrangement and accepting being a bailout package. The proper model is not domination, it's reciprocity. If a woman respects a man's boundaries, values his judgments, listens to his warnings, and demonstrates concern for his well-being, that creates foundations for protection. Not because she's inferior and not because he owns her, but because protection requires communication. It requires reciprocity. It requires something back. Protection requires a person to cooperate with the other person that's expected to protect them. Even professional security work operates in that way. A bodyguard can't protect a client who refuses every safe instruction, wanders off into uncontrolled environments, and then reveals their private location, antagonize strangers, and then accuse the bodyguard of being controlling, attempting to reduce the threat by attempting to reduce the threat and whatnot. At some point, the client is not requesting protection. The client is requesting immunity from consequences. Hey there, Landon. Hey, Bronx in here. Good to see you, Bronx. Now, no man can really offer that. And this is one of the most important lessons for unsupervised Black men. Don't accept responsibility where you have no authority, no relationship, no information, no reciprocity. You can choose to help someone in an emergency because it's morally right. If you choose to do so, if you are obligated, if you are obliged to do so, if you're able to do it, and if you want to do it. But you're not necessarily obligated to do it. You can intervene when the risk is reasonable. You can call for assistance. You can protect vulnerable people when you have the capacity to do so. But that's different from accepting a permanent racial obligation to risk your life and surrender your boundaries or absorb disrespect from every Black woman simply because you're Black and they're Black. Community responsibility must run in both directions. Black women cannot demand that Black men see them as communal family while treating individual Black men as disposable strangers. You cannot invoke our men when you need defense and when it's serving your needs, but my life, my choice when those men raise some serious concerns. You can't demand solidarity only at the moment of consequence. If we're a community, then correction must also be communal. Standards must also be communal. Respect must also be communal. Accountability must be communal. And protection must be reciprocal. Because protection without correction is not protection. It's just reaction. And protection without boundaries is not leadership. It's servitude. And protection without reciprocal loyalty is not community. It's just exploitation. Black men should not be indifferent to Black women's safety, but we shouldn't also be manipulated by moral frameworks that assign them this responsibility and then rejects their judgment. So let me go ahead. We need to get away from all of these different slogans and get to a functioning system. And let's go ahead and get this link dropped because I want to see what you all think about all of this. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot to dive into, and we're going to have some fun going through these clips and reviewing them. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pin the link, drop in the link right now. Let's see if that works. And I'll just pin this one here. And basically today I'm on both Kick and I'm on YouTube. So if the Kick family wants to chime in, hopefully you can. I know I haven't been on Kick in a while, but I'm back on here now. And we'll see who comes through. In the meantime, I guess I'll go back to some more of these clips because I noticed some of y'all probably missed a little bit of this on the beginning because I noticed some of y'all are just now joining us. And here's another thing, like when they go and they do this whole swirler adventure, a lot of times it ends up looking something like this.
But I only dated white guys for 12 years. My friends even called me a Dairy Queen behind my back. And thankfully, I actually finally broke that streak when I moved uptown to Harlem. And the first time I ever made love with a bonnet on was truly a transformative experience. I won't get into it, but why am I telling you this? Because this weekend, I saw one battle after another. That's Paul Thomas Anderson's movie with the amazing Tiana Taylor. She did her thing. Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean fucking Penn. It was so good, y'all, and that man deserves an Oscar for it. No spoilers, but his character has this weird kind of racial fetish thing going on. And it kind of made me think about my own dating history. Because growing up, if you would have asked me why I was down with this world, I would have just been like, oh, I only went to school with white people, or, oh, black guys don't like me. But the truth of it is I was probably on some level bought into white supremacy, or better said, white superiority, meaning that I thought if I dated white guys, that would make me better than other black people. And it's sad to admit, but I do think a lot of people do struggle with this kind of internalized racism. Now, as I've grown into my self-love, I have thankfully outgrown that mindset. And I'm so grateful I did, because it feels so good to be yourself, And I just thought it was an interesting topic that I wanted to discuss, because lately my algorithm has been showing me all this like black woman looking for white men content. And some of it's funny, but some of it legit makes me uncomfortable, because it is this about black women finding love or black men getting hate? If you love yourself, you have to love your people. So I'm actually curious, for those of you in interracial relationships, what are your thoughts? How has it been for you? And how do you think it has affected how you move and are seen in this world?
Hey, looks like we have Naima in here. What's up, Naima?
Hey, it was good as Spark Truth. Now, before we continue, I have to say, I was almost tempted to sing that one song from The Bodyguard, but I realized I probably ruined the song for everybody. Because, like I said in the comments, every black woman wants to be like Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how you saw the video? You saw the movie, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that movie. I sure did.
Mm-hmm. And when Kevin Costner took over. Oh, hell no, not her.
Yeah, she's open to Black Men again now. Stacey Dash.
No. She's coming back because her options ran out. Plain and simple. Her options just ran out.
Man, like, bruh, she's almost 60. But hey, if you didn't know, she's back on the market for black men again.
Dude, Sharon Stone is in her 60s, and most guys just use her just to get their name out there. But they ain't trying to put a ring on it. He's there for fun, but
I had to mess with you. As soon as you brought that up, it's too like, yeah, let me mess with Naima.
I got a cousin who looks similar to Stacey Dash, only darker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's cuter, but and she's my age, so I'm gonna leave that at that. I will say this. It's true what they say. Men are like houses, women are like cars.
Ooh, that's gonna be a great topic. Like, I don't know whether I should cover that over here or if I should cover that on Black Men on Code. The idea of, are you investing in her? Is she an investment, or is she a depreciating asset? Like, I know you probably saw a little bit of the videos going on over there with Brittany Renner, kind of like showing that before after. It's like, dang, she went from this to that for real. Like, it was like
a lot of people don't know this, but I'm a gamer. It's going to shock you. I am a gamer, PlayStation, and I remember going through the U.S. PlayStation 3 store because I was looking for themes and avatars and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I found a Brittany Renner theme.
What?
On the PlayStation 3 store. In the theme section. Honest to God, I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, "What the hell?" She's been around since that long. Since then, she's been around since that long. And I'm like, God damn! I saw a theme of her, just like I've seen a couple of PlayStation 3 themes with what's her name, Bria Miles. Shout out to Charles because that's his type right there. Dark with that thick booty.
Thick like gumbo.
Yeah. Okay, that good. That sounds really good. But what I'm gonna say is the Brittany Renner situation just shows you what the hell is wrong with a lot of women. And I'm glad we live in this era now because at least we understand some level of psychology, even though certain terms are getting thrown around, certain terms get thrown out willy-nilly. But you realize all the chickens always come home to roost at some time or at some point.
Yeah,
everybody gets theirs in the end, man.
Hey, I got the perfect thing for you. Let me just play a few of these and I think that'll hammer the point home.
Let me say.
Well, I'm rubbing my hands evenly.
Guys, are they eligible for the playbook?
I don't want to discriminate.
Okay.
But where I am in my life,
let me replay that.
I need black men. That's all I'm gonna say.
You won't turn your back on love.
I believe it is out. Y'all gotta give me some space for a second.
Right.
I need to come home for a little bit.
You need to come home for a little bit. Okay.
No.
So that one there, you know who that was. That's Rachel Lindsay. Let's see this one here.
Man, let me be the first to say I love me a black man.
Come on now.
I'm going on the record. Where's all my cameras at?
I
love me a black man. We got to make that clear today.
Come on now. The show called for the fellas.
Yes.
Give some advice to black men. How can we show up better for black women?
Black men have to do a better job at protecting black women at all costs. I've said this before, but protection can show up in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Whether that's just like calling the homegirl and checking in on her and making sure that she's good. If that means standing up for a woman that you see that's in public having a hard time with a man. I've seen that a lot on social media lately, right? Like if you see a woman in distress, it takes nothing for you to just tap her by the shoulder and make sure that she's good. It's a very unsafe place for black women in this world right now, and we need y'all to show up for us, to protect us, to love on us, and to be complimentary of us. I think like a lot of black men these days have these mics, right? Podcast mics is a dangerous thing.
Not using it the right way.
And they're not always used for the right thing. So we really have to start speaking positively, pour light into us, and stand by us. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because 10 times out of 10, y'all come from a black woman. Y'all come from us.
What I'm about to do is keep arguing with y'all.
All right, so yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. I was supposed to read that.
Oh,
really?
Good tone runner.
Oh, really?
Good, man. It's good to see
Orale.
Wait. Had oatmeal, coffee. What else did he make me? I had some fresh juice.
Ooh.
And something else, but I have to research that. Thank you very much.
Okay. So you had yourself a good meal there.
Hey. The quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And that man and Tunnel Runner is a testament to that.
Yes, Tunnel
Runner.
He ain't lying.
Yeah. Definitely a great example. Tell me what, did you get to check out that clip I just played?
Which one? Which one you talking about?
Oh, let me see. Let me play that again. Real quick. All right. Well, okay. I played a couple back to back. Like, let me do this again. I'll play to get the whole theme together. I'm gonna play like 3 back to back, like because there's the main theme of this whole video, and then there's some other things that kind of tie in a little bit. That's more or less supporting. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me start it from the beginning, because we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna have some fun chopping this one up. And I see Landon in the chat. He's having some fun already. Man, Landon has me rolling half the time.
What's he saying? Hang on, let me check.
They told me to stop talking on their phone.
You said we can't even like.
And I am so sick and tired of fucking men. Fuck. Now I'm about to keep cussing. But make sure you
fuck. That's our fucking names. I go back. You're a booty batter bastard. I go back.
It's crazy. We didn't do anything disrespectful.
Talking about you're gonna let us out of the side. We're black women. You're a black king. You're supposed to protect us, but you're not.
Okay.
You're not.
Exactly.
Okay, so all I ask.
You're supposed to protect black women. You just picked us up from the hospital.
This
Exactly.
is not anything about protecting or not protecting. You get in, you start cussing, and I say, ladies, please, language, please. And you say,
we're grown women. We're grown women.
There's no fucking timeout. Cancel the ride.
We're grown women. Okay. Make sure you, after you cancel, because I'm not going to pay. You're definitely not getting a tip. Oh, yeah. Hold on. You're not even in a Tesla. He's driving the wrong car, Uber. He's driving the abscess Tesla.
Please exit the vehicle.
No problem. Shay, I hope everything good finds you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Better not make.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be protective. He's supposed to be protecting them, and he can't even have any boundaries in his own car. Like, not even in his own car. But I'm supposed to protect, though.
The honest truth is that the only place that this happens is really with Black America, Black women in America, because they would not do that almost anywhere else. And women or other places will not do that, especially not outside of the West, would not be that disrespectful, because in other places they might get hands put on them. You know what I'm saying? But they just wouldn't do it.
True.
They just know that it's not supposed to be done. That there's a little bit of fear in there, and that there's a piece of respect that this person is picking you up. You're going somewhere, and you do have to have a little decorum, a little bit. I'm not saying that all the women overseas, you can find some disrespectful women, but they wouldn't be out with it like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's over the top, man. It really is. And let me see about like playing some of this. Let me see if this is one of the right one, because I think it might be
for us, and white men are. The only thing that I'm learning from this season of Love Island is that fuck that you a white man. Look, I understand, I know, but the way that I just love how Bryce and Trinity are boyfriend and girlfriend now, and it's like, fuck with you a white man, because he ain't gonna play with you. You see how Corbin doing, you see how KC doing, get you a white man.
And that's kind of like a reoccurring theme. Like, so you had that whole Nicolandria effect or whatever last time around for Love Island, and there's kind of like rumors that they were like breaking up, or that they might not have even been like a real couple for real anyway. But like this, it's still like there's all of that excitement about like that interracial couple of that pairing of black woman, white man, and so every time it's like, oh, whether it's Scandal, whether it's this, whether it's something else. I mean, it's like they really go heavy into like into flocking into this swirler fantasy, and at the same time that they're doing that, they'll kind of like swing back around and then sound like this.
Hey, let me be the first to say I love me a black man.
Come on now.
I'm going on the record. Where's all my cameras at? I love me a black man. We got to make that clear today.
Come on now. The show called for the fellas.
Yes.
Give some advice to black men. How can we show up better for black women?
Black men have to do a better job at protecting black women at all costs. I've said this before, but protection can show up in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Whether that's just like calling a homegirl and checking in on her and making sure that she's good. If that means standing up for a woman that you see that's in public having a hard time with a man. I've seen that a lot on social media lately, right? Like if you see a woman in distress, it takes nothing for you to just tap her by the shoulder and make sure that she's good. It's a very unsafe place for black women in this world right now, and we need y'all to show up for us, to protect us, to love on us, and to be complimentary of us. I think like a lot of black men these days have these mics, right? Yeah. Podcast mics is a dangerous thing.
Not using it the right way.
And they're not always used for the right thing. So we really have to start speaking positively, pour light into us, and stand by us. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because 10 times out of 10, y'all come from a black woman. Y'all come from us.
All right. So yeah, let's use our mics responsibly then. Let's go ahead and do that.
Isn't that the girl that used to be dating the football player?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's the second one.
This is the
That's the second one. Kay Michelle. Go ahead.
Kay Michelle.
Kayla Nicole. That's Kayla Nicole.
Kayla Nicole. Oh, sorry. Kayla Nicole. Sorry. Kayla Nicole. You're right.
Yeah, she failed with the white guy, and she put her lines out there to get some more. She can't get another one. So now she's coming back to the rebound. Now she's coming back for black men. But she wasn't saying that almost a year and a half ago, she was not even saying nothing like that. But she's back now.
Yeah, but yeah, so I totally get the whole idea. Like, hey, you just got back here. Like, how you going to demand protection from any random black man? But here's what y'all don't understand is like, I don't think y'all understand it like this. Let me play this one here.
But why this conversation for me was so transformative was because I was living in a world as a black queer woman, born and raised in the South, that truly did not believe that there was a black man that would protect me, that there was no opportunity for him to potentially have some level of sexual connection to me. That was my truth. And I was doing this work out of that truth for myself because I didn't believe it was.
Yeah, it's that. It does not matter, like, whether they're not your blood relative, they're not your friend, they're not any way associated with you, they're with a non-black man, they're with a non-man at all. You are obligated to protect them just because you're black.
Yeah. And these women, they don't understand. If you're a lesbian, if you're going out with white guys, you have really rejected black men. All right? These women thinking, because that girl in the cab with the blue hair, that's sign of queerness, being out there, alternative.
And light skinned.
Yeah. So when these women think that they can go out there, reject black men in the whole, because with women, even if you're bi, whatever, you're just really like kind of rejecting just being with black men and black men only. And then you say, well, okay, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And then when I have bad results or whatever, I want to come back to you. And now you protect me, even though I haven't done anything for you, but reject you.
Yeah, that's right. You're supposed to reciprocate their rejection and their disrespect and give them protection. And it doesn't work. Like, if I can't do any preventative maintenance, I can't protect you. If I can't tell you, hey, you shouldn't go and see this guy again. Let me play this.
Is it? Don't you record that? Yeah. I was just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, but you want to see him again.
Hang on a second. Now, inspired truth.
Yes.
This might sound weird coming from someone who is not a resident or a citizen of the United States and who's never lived in the United States like that. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the appeals of a white man is the fact he's got a good credit score.
Okay.
So you think a woman like that understands, I need to secure this man because my credit's fucked up and he got good credit. Find the line what I just said. At any cost, find the line what I just said.
Yeah, I don't think it's about credit score, my man. Like, I hate to break it to you, but I see them walking around, like kind of like well put together black women
Mhm.
walking around with white male bums. Like, I mean,
Wait. Now, hold on a
shirt.
second. Now, Inspired Truth.
Yeah.
In the words of AB Media, don't be talking about Lonnie Love and her choices in men. But I hear you. I understand what you mean. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about, because average people. We're talking about people in the working class, average folks, and she needs to secure that white man any way that she can. Otherwise, she's gonna lose him to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in some cases, she's just gonna lose him to the rats, I guess, because I mean, he's living on the street. He's in a cardboard box. Like, I don't know. I don't know who's checking for him other than the rats. What's up, bro?
Good point.
What up, Inspired Truth? What up, panel? What up, name? How you pronounce your name, bro? What up, Tunnel Runner? How you pronounce your name? Is it Naima?
Yeah, it's Naima. Everybody says Naima. That's it. That's the easiest way for them to pronounce it.
All right, Naima. What up, fellas?
Yeah.
Man, these black women are lying. They just outright lying when they say that they're going to get them a white man. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you look at the data, man, of all white American men, about 2.3% of them date outside of their race or marry outside of their race. And less than 1% of them marry black women. And that's according to the Pew Center of Research. So that's just an outright lie, man. That is another fantasy delusion that they try to put out there, essentially to gain mental control over mentally weak men who don't understand what the truth is. White men do not want black women on that degree. If anything, they just want to, they want to fulfill their little fetish that they have for them, but they're not marrying them, man. They're not marrying them. White men are still very largely marrying white women.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like 0.5%. But the thing about it though is like that exception, like the women, like ladies love to see themselves as the exception, so they make the exception the rule. And then when you mix in their media diet, like if you're like inundated with those like swirl of content, and then the algorithm's showing it to you more and more because you want it more and more and more, it skews your view of reality. So you don't see that 0.5% as a real thing. You see the what the algorithm is showing you and what you want to see, and it keeps on promoting the exception as the rule.
Right.
And even when we do see so when we do see like a Nick and Olandria, and we do see like these different like Love Island or different types of reality content or whatnot, like it still kind of ends up like bad. You get another Rachel Lindsay. Like this is what you get. Like you get another, okay, congratulations, you won your white man, and now you get to pay him $500,000.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just not representative of what the mess. Go ahead, bro.
I would like to say this. So first, this is a very interesting topic, but we got to keep in mind these topics come around on draft day, because that's the point of contention. Because these soon-to-be multimillionaire black men, right? You see very few black women with them, and that's the problem. It's not all black men, and they know it's not all black men. It's literally draft day where they get upset because they don't see black women getting attention and the love of these soon-to-be future superstars. Second point, man. I mean, we're not in the Gilded Age. Protection is called police. If you want protection from me, I got $3.99 for a condom you can buy. But that's all the protection you get from me, baby. You box of condoms. But other than that, it's called police officers, FBI, National Guard, right? That's what it's called, and that's what you should use. And as far as and shout out to Casey and TT. And as far as being with white men, you know what, baby? Yes, they love you. Go for it. They love you. Go for it. We encourage it, right? Because I ain't got time for this. And black men should not have time for this. Like, look, man, at the end of the day, black women let you know how they feel. So we need to encourage them. If they want to be with white guy, hey, be with white guy. We encourage it. God bless you.
Yep.
That's a good opening statement there. You know, that kind of let me go and put this back to this one here. We're gonna go with that background now. And then once they're done with that, then they could go ahead and do this reach back. She's available. She's on the
There
market.
will be no reach back. I repeat, there will be no reach back.
Hey, and tell your truth.
Yeah.
The most protection I've seen women get, the smallest, lightest, under 100-pound women, they get respect and protection just by being nice and sweet. They ain't trying to flex on nobody. They ain't trying to make no bad words. They're trying to be nice and sweet to get so they can get protection from some man.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
these
yeah,
women
that's
thinking they're gonna
actually.
go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I think that it tells you that they're actually able to be protected. Like, if you can listen to me, then I can do that preventative maintenance so that we're not out here on the street at 2 a.m. with you dressed how you shouldn't be dressed in a part of town that we shouldn't be in. But if I can't tell you anything, then that's not going to happen. Like,
I think
it
that
really
is
is.
a mistake. I think that is a mistake. Don't tell her anything. Let her go. Let her go. Give her a card of the police officer number and go about your business. Don't tell her nothing, man. That's the thing, man. She don't want to be saved. We shouldn't save her. And when she gets into trouble, 911.
I mean, it depends on like the type of. I'm talking about like if it's somebody that you actually like offering
No, like
to be
if
in your
my
life
wife,
type of thing. Not somebody that's like a
if my wife,
non-laid person.
if my wife want to wear a bikini on the south side of Chicago on a winter's December night and think nothing gonna happen to her, God, go ahead, baby, do it. You got it.
Dang, that's cold-blooded.
Go ahead, baby, you got it. You got it. You go ahead. Go
I can
ahead.
give an example to your point. Patrice O'Neal once told this story about him and his girl. One time they were at a mall in New York, and she was talking out of both sides of her mouth, getting in the face of another brother, right?
Yeah.
Now Patrice was 6'4", 6'5", weight at his heaviest, he was somewhere between 350, 400 pounds. He saw his girl, who's like 5'8", getting into a brother's face, just jaw jacking everything. What does he do? He just gets up, walks the other direction, walks the opposite direction, walks the opposite direction. She realized he walked away. She ran after him. She's like, "Yo, why did you walk away?" He could have He could have what? He could have what? Exactly. He could have just bashed your face in and looked at me, and I would have done absolutely nothing. Because you have to learn respect. If you're with me, you understand I'm not going to protect you if you're going to go out here acting reckless. I remember a certain situation. Well, it's a hypothetical scenario I've always thought of. And it's basically like I'm trying to defend a female friend from some BS from another dude. And she's right there just jaw jacking. She's just jaw jacking. And at some point I'm like, hold up. And just turn around, look at her and go like, you got this? If you got this, I can step out the way. And watch them go like, oh no, you got this. You sure? You sure? You
Yeah,
change the scenario, and that makes her think things, because a lot of women, unfortunately, there's this lack of self-awareness, and because there's no lack of there's lack of self-awareness, there's lack of impulse control and lack of foresight. This is the solipsistic nature of most women.
Yeah, there's that
Plain and
automatic
simple.
expectation that they're not going to have to face like
Mhm.
real consequences for real, and that any
Mhm.
men in the vicinity is going to act as a human shield to protect them from said consequences.
Mhm. That's
Let
true.
me
In fact,
let me play this
oh,
one
I just
again in
go ahead.
case
Go ahead.
anybody missed it.
Go
I
ahead.
want to like go ahead and play this, and then I'm going to pause it at a certain spot too, I think.
Kind of hard to admit, but I only dated white guys for 12 years. My friends even called me a Dairy Queen behind my back. And thankfully, I actually finally broke that streak when I moved uptown to Harlem. And the first time I ever made love with a bonnet on was truly a transformative experience. I won't get into it, but why am I telling you this? Because this weekend, I saw one battle after another. That's Paul Thomas Anderson's movie with the amazing Tiana Taylor. She did her thing. Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean fucking Penn. It was so good, y'all, and that man deserves an Oscar for it. No spoilers, but his character has this weird kind of racial fetish thing going on. And it kind of made me think about my own dating history. Because growing up, if you would have asked me why I was down with this world, I would have just been like, oh, I only went to school with white people, or, oh, black guys don't like me. But the truth of it is, I was probably on some level bought into white supremacy, or better said, white superiority, meaning that I thought if I dated white guys, that would make me better than other black people. And it's sad.
All right. So I like this because she really just kind of brought the whole point home that we've been trying to say all this time while they've been gaslighting us. We have been saying, you have bought into white supremacy. And they've said,
Yeah, at
no,
least
it's just
she at least
this, it's
admitted
just
it.
that.
She at least admitted it.
Yeah,
But
after
here's the thing. Here's the thing. These type of women, if you look at her, those are the most dangerous, right? If you are a intelligent man, that's probably going to be the type of woman that gets your eye. She's very well put together. She's not dressed ratchet. She's, you know, very beautiful, well spoken. That's attractive, right?
You're
But
right. She doesn't
when you
have
get
like
into
on visually no red flags
yeah,
visually.
there's really no red flags visually, really. And even if you were to converse with her briefly, she's well spoken, right? That's the most dangerous. That's the most dangerous, because when you just watch this video, you really get into her dating history, right? And 12 years of dating, all white men, no ring. She's just as bad as the hoe in the street. But really, when you look at it, she thinks that she's still a little bit better. Why? Because she got ran through by a bunch of white men rather than a bunch of Pookies and Ray Rays. That's interesting,
Yeah.
man. That's very interesting psychology right there, man.
12 years is over a decade. So we're talking about like over a decade on the Brad carousel, and then she gets off. And then this, but I'm so glad that she did actually kind of like say what it was. That she was able to actually speak to the things that we're seeing that they keep trying to obfuscate.
She made a statement. She said that she finally made love with a bonnet on. I wonder what she means by that.
That was kind of a little bit of disrespect in a way. I mean, the idea of it was that, okay, instead of having to be put together, I was able just to come out however, and then still get treated with desire and affection.
Well, there's a movie called
It's
12
like
Years a Slave. You got to watch it.
12 Years a Slave, I've seen it, yeah.
Hey, you funny.
Mm.
You funny.
Brunk. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Brunk.
it kind of
Brunk.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're just kind of like stopped off like whatever, like yeah, I can do whatever with this black man, but like when I'm with the when I'm with the white man, then now I have to come correct. I have to come in a different way. I have to present it a different way. And like, so when she was saying that, like, I did catch that didn't fall on deaf ears. I did kind of notice that, like, okay, you're saying that the standards are lower when you're talking about us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that is the assumption. Black men have no standards. We are y'all. Well, we are all. Yeah. Yeah. We are nothing more than the garbage men of the dating pool. But here's something else to consider. Like you said, 12 years of being with white men and getting ran through, which means She's probably had some mediocre mattress mambo, and probably caught a couple of STDs along the way. Because remember, who are the most reckless with their members? White men. White men do not care, because you understand. For them, it's about them getting off, and they don't care if the other person gets off or otherwise. It's not their problem.
Yep.
It's not their problem. The only thing they have to deal with is if their so-called women start to look at in our direction or in the direction of other groups of men, and that plays into their into the white man's insecurity. Oh, and I also have to acknowledge something here that a couple of comments here I got to acknowledge by Landon, which are very hilarious but very true.
It's always hilarious.
Lack of slaps. Yeah, but it's true. Herp Tisha. I usually refer to certain people as herp mouth, because it's usually the oral form they usually have. But that tells you a lot that But her saying she made love with a bonnet for the first time, that's condescending. I mean, she still harbors a level of contempt towards black men, and if she gets with one, and if it works out, she still wants it to be that man's fault that it couldn't work out with the white man.
Yep.
And she's gonna try to make his life a better hell. And the fact that she wants to make love with a bonnet on shows the level of contempt that she has for black men.
And there's a reason why black men are poor pickers, are accept a lot of stuff, because what we have in our black community is we have women who don't actually think that they should do anything for us. They give us anything, and then we grow up like that, and not knowing that there's difference out there. And I mean, sometimes, I have to admit, when I was a lot younger, I'm I'm with this black sister, and I'm with this. We're on a trip in Mexico, and I'm looking, and I talk to this white couple. We're talking, and they're talking about getting married and doing this stuff, and I'm looking at this white girl is like half the size of my girlfriend, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is this going on? And then we get ready to do something athletic, and I realized my girl, I think it was swimming or something, or maybe something, but she didn't want to do it because she wasn't really going to be able to do it at the level that we could, and so it makes you change your mindset that why? But that's what you see in the community. You say, "Oh, it's okay," when really, like say, if the average woman is 180 pounds and stuff like that, and uh, some of these women are like 90 pounds in other communities, or 110 pounds, that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're like socialized to absorb friction and just to like absorb crap and be the cleanup men and just absorb everything. Like, so of disrespect, we have to absorb it. The whole idea of like whatever their problems that they might be presenting with, we're supposed to absorb it. Like, okay, if you have an issue with your abilities due to weight, or your abilities due to finances, or your other problem, like whatever the thing is, we're supposed to absorb it and just kind of keep absorbing it. And it's like a both and. We're just like this cushion of any type of negativity in the world.
And I think someone would say, they would say, um, "Oh, why are you talking about my hair?" Well, I'm talking about your hair because we're going somewhere. We're going to be wet and wild, and I want you to be ready in 10, 20 minutes. So I want you to have your hair natural, have your hair in braids, that you can go out and get stuff done. By you not being able to do that, you're slowing me down from doing other things, when I'm just thinking, you're supposed to be ready to go.
Yeah, being the garbage man costs you, because like if your position is that you're trying to be the CEO, taking your time
Mm-hmm.
out to be the garbage man takes away from your ability to be the CEO.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody else is getting ready to go jump in the water, and your girl can't because her hair. Get out of here.
What in the Chris Rock? Yeah, I said wasn't a Chris Rock because remember 2009, Chris Rock had a certain documentary.
Oh yeah, good hair.
Good hair,
Yeah.
good hair, good hair. That document, brothers, we need to stick. You need to go back and watch that because Ice-T, what he said at the end, is still relevant to this day. Everything that was said in that documentary is relevant to this day, especially how the women were trying to defend themselves and rationalize everything. Very true. And also about black men being the garbage men and other dating pool. Think about it this way. Black men in the Western Hemisphere, being the fact that all of you, I'm talking about the entire Western Hemisphere, the entire Americas, the Caribbean, all that. We all being the descendants of men who were brought to those shores in bondage. The men have always been the designated underclass. So they've been conditioned to be abused, disregarded, manipulated, forced to be subjected to humiliation. And one form of humiliation is cuckoldry. That mindset is still passed. It still lives and breathes in other societies that you have to contend with, especially whites, the greater society, and black women. They still talk about that. They still bring it up that you're a conquered man. You can't do anything. You can't build Wakanda for us. You're not. First of all, black men are not in control of their narrative, and they have to fight that every day.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, so there is a whole lot of myth making that gets done by the dominant society to try to maintain their dominant status. So one of the biggest things that they do is they lie about who you are and who you were, so that you don't get any clever ideas about like overturning and upsetting that apple cart. But there's been a lot of incredible and amazing things that Black people have done here in America over the time that we've been here. But it's constantly overturned. It's constantly messed with or damaged or in some cases sabotaged.
Oh, definitely.
Like, and yeah, I mean, like going down the line of things, like, so we don't just have like just one Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the Greenwood neighborhood. We have spots all over the place that have gotten wrecked over the years. We've had Rosewood, we've had the Thibodeau massacre, we've had stuff go down in Memphis, we've had stuff go down in New Orleans, we've had stuff go down everywhere, like everywhere.
Richard Pryor's hometown of Peoria, Illinois is one example. Peoria, Illinois, where Richard Pryor was born and raised. That town was destroyed in the 1910s, prior to World War II. Just like you had the same outbreaks of violence in Chicago, in New York, and everything. And they were made to stay in that position because they needed to keep them, because the greater society needed to keep them in that place of disenfranchisement, displacement, and keep them in a place of in a position of subservience.
And let me
to maintain a certain order. Go ahead.
Let me bring this to South America. We just had the World Cup. The reason why we know of Argentina is because of the tango that was brought by Black people. The reason we know about their charcoal steaks and meat was because of Black people. They systematically got rid of all the Black people down to like a 1% or less than 1% Black people, when they had almost 30% Black people there. And they want to say, oh, no, we know what they did. We know that they killed and they disease. Just what happened to the Indians here in America. They did the same thing to Blacks in Argentina. But today, they still, from the last World Cup to this World Cup, they have no Black players. They don't really promote Black players in their divisions. And even the team in Norway that doesn't have that many Black people, it still had 3 Black players. They're the only team that
They had 2. They had 2. They had 2.
And the one that looked,
there were 2. Oscar Bob and Antonio Nunn was were the
Exactly.
names. But
I
they've
was like,
had
but I'm looking at that.
other black players. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm going this, and they want to know why everybody was against them, and then their fans were racist at certain points. So yeah, we you want us not to see what's right there in front of our face, ignore what's going
Hmm.
on. We can see it. We got eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you've
mean,
seen
so
racial
it's
abuse like that in many national teams. I mean, one example I can give is in Europe is Italy. They had a black player on their. They had a couple of black players on their on their team. One player in particular, his name is Mario Balotelli. Born in Italy, Ghanaian parents. Anytime he played, the Italian fans would say there are no blacks in Italy. The only time that they changed their view was during the 2012 European Cup. But in the final, when they lost to Spain, who became to the champions, to Neville champion Spain, then they turned on him and abused him. And you could see, like, when he got his runners up medal, he was bitterly upset because he understood when things are good, I'm an Italian. When things are bad, I'm an immigrant. You see the same thing in Germany, in France. Spain right now, they've got one black player, but they've had another black player before, a Afro-Brazilian named Marco Senna. But now they got Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal also. But in Spain, you've seen a lot of racial abuse in their leagues as well. But that's soccer for you.
yeah, that's the thing about it is like
Excuse me
so there's
excuse
like
me for veering off.
uh Oh, no,
Excuse me
no,
for
it's all
veering
good.
off.
Okay, but
No,
we were
this
saying,
is this is
but see,
important.
at least they had one, at least they had somebody, at least they. You don't have that at all in Argentina. Zero, zero, zero,
No,
zero, zero.
no. They have a young man who's right now playing in their junior national teams, and he is not Afro-Argentinian. This young man was a child who is from Haiti and who was adopted after the 2010 earthquake by an Argentinian family, and he was raised Argentinian. He's shown a lot of prominence, but I would tell those people you need to protect that boy right now. He may be playing right now, in the junior leagues in the junior level in Argentina, and probably gets called up for the national team at the junior levels. But
But Neymar, what you're saying about the junior league, I'm saying about what's going on right now in
junior
their major.
level,
Yeah, I'm talking about the
yeah,
major level, and I'm
the
talking
senior
about their
level.
team, their world
Hmm.
championship. They could have put if they wanted to be, just be a little bit
Hmm.
decent. They could have put one black player on the team. They could have
They
finally tried
could.
to find one, and they didn't do it. And is the reason
No,
why they didn't do it. Is the reason why they
there's a reason.
do the way they do.
Yeah. And the way they disrespect Brazil, because was it they talk about how much Brazil relies on their mulatto and black players, and people will tell you around the world will tell you the greatest soccer player of all time was an Afro-Brazilian. I know a lot of people want to talk about Argentina's great legend Maradona, but for most of us, it's Pelé. The greatest soccer player is Pelé, an
Yes, yes, yes.
Afro-Brazilian. My father's generation, they grew up watching him, and they say that's the reason why a lot of us love soccer, the beautiful game, because of Brazilians like him. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
perfect
veering off.
example of
Big time.
no, it's
Big
a
time.
perfect example of black men exhibiting excellence. And the thing about us exhibiting excellence is that it's only acceptable enough to when other people are benefiting from it. And it's not like it's not put to the forefront as much unless other people are benefiting from it. And then you have this whole construction of a social narrative that really just kind of transforms that physical subjugation where they would just kind of like just destroy our cities and our towns and whatnot. When we were exhibiting that excellence, instead they ended up moving on to doing a socially engineered version of that, where they subjugate us based off of narrative framing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of what we see today. Like the more that you can transform that subjugation from like a physical weapon at your face into something that's just a socially accepted norm, the more you can stabilize your system of oppression.
Exactly.
I mean, but
Hey,
like what we have let black men have let black women take away some of the rap game. And when they're the
Oh,
hardest stars. So, I mean, we had a couple of white people, try to rap, but it's only a few. But you have black women who have tried to take away the whole rap game from black men and be some of the, the most chart popping artists of today.
I think that so there's levels to this here. Like we had a wonderful thing with hip hop, and I salute to Passport OG for showing what he showed on one of his last videos where there were positive messages in hip hop. It's like even like hip hop songs that were into the no cursing, or you had this conscious rap. You had all these different things. Like Tribe Called Quest was a whole lot of conscious rap. Like we had all of these different positive messages that existed in the art form
Yeah,
that we produced.
even when you got into like some of the more some of the rap that tried to portray what life was really like for black men coming up in the inner city in those conditions, they would, respect the legends. Like for instance, Coolio, like he got Stevie Wonder's permission to do Gangsta's Paradise, but he agreed to do No Cussing.
that's
To
right.
get that sample.
Get that sample. That was the only time Stevie ever gave a sample. That's the only time he ever let somebody actually sample one of his songs and whatnot like that. Who else? I mean, like you talked
Remember
about.
Self-Destruction?
Oh yeah, that was from the '80s. That was in the '80s
Yeah.
because they were trying to put an end to the gang violence that came with the crack epidemic and everything. Let's not forget, because remember, you had so many great legends at that time. You had Salt and Pepper came up at that time. MC Light, Queen Latifah, KRS-One's ex-wife, Miss Melody,
Yeah, and then
Roxanne.
yeah, yep, and then even with some of the stuff that went into like gangster rap, even that was getting into awareness of things that were going on that were flying below the radar. Like before you even got like heavy into Rodney King, like before that ended up becoming a video that everybody really got to see. Like they were already talking about this. Like they were already talking about like actual tanks going into like people's homes. Like they would like with the whole like crack down on narcotics, that whole war on that stuff. They were like really actually bashing in people's houses and then being like, oops, sorry, we thought that there was something going down over here. And they would just plow that thing through somebody's living room and get away with the stuff. But that wasn't like frequently like a part of the national narrative. Hey, what's up? Perfect timing. Good to see you here. Like, I mean, this is stuff that would be maddening. Like if this were going on in the white community, like if cops were putting tanks through their living room, putting their kids at risk, like that would have been a mass national story. But that's not how things go down in the society that we live in. So there were some positives to it, but that stuff got like kind of like it got taken over. Like the incentive structure, the money in it, like caused these bigger, wider organizations to end up buying and controlling what we creatively made. And then what you have from that ends up becoming, okay, I guess now like some of the front loading of the women in some of the I guess kind of puppeteered role. You know what I mean? Like it's just like kind of like an extension of the system that we already see and that we already have. Black man gets creative, black man makes something, white man buys that something, white man puts black woman in to subjugate said thing.
Yeah. Hey, Inspired Troop, I got written up for singing the Public Enemy song in my job because me and another brother were singing, I think, Black Steel. And, we started saying Farrakhan's a prophet. I think you ought to listen to Elvis is, and they were so intimidated. They went to management that these black men, especially this big black man, is singing this song that they were highly intimidated. I said, Lord Jesus. Well, it was messed, but just like I say, they have trying to take over things like that. They're positive, strong, aggressive black men trying to get stuff done.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
remember
it's
Digital
just so
Underground.
strange when you stop and think about it that at the same time that they want to portray us as not being strong black men, but then they also want to portray us as being threats at the same time. Like you're threatening, but then you're also weak. Like how are you threatening and weak at the same damn time?
Yeah. Kind of.
That's basically T.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. That film from over a century ago. But I also remember music videos like what's the name? Ice-T had a music video called High Rollers, which he was explaining to young people, the dangers of crime and trying to be in the criminal underworld. And everybody gets killed. And he was showing footage and incorporating the music video were like footage of crime scenes and whatnot from news organizations and everything. He was also showing videos of himself in those positions saying, yeah, this is the glitz and glamour, but this is the ugly side.
Glad it has me rolling.
Yeah, he's right.
Like, you know what?
Well,
it is?
wait, hold on a second.
It's like,
yes.
It's like basically like quantum. This is like the stuff that you see over there with the electrons. It's like, yeah, it's a particle and it's a wave at the same time. It's going through this slit and it's going through that slit at the same time. They're trying to make it like quantum physics,
Oh, he forgot to mention Poor Righteous Teachers. That was another group. But Diggable Planets, I remember one of their joints, because hey, let's face it, man. Y'all just cool like that. You smooth like that. You slick like that. You tight like that. We up like that. We down like that. We west like that. We east like that.
Yeah, that's poetry, man. That's a poetry slam.
Yeah.
What's up, Perfect Time? It's good to see you. This might be your first time up on the panel.
Yeah, it is. I think so. What's up? Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Good morning.
What up, bro?
Well, good afternoon on my end. But yeah.
Great conversation, man. Great conversation. I'm glad I subscribed and hit the bell. As soon as I turned on YouTube, he popped up. So that's why I'm here.
Oh, good. In that case, let me go ahead and let me go back to this clip over here because I want to hear your perspective on this also. I guess maybe I should play these two together so they can give a little bit of context. Actually, it's kind of like three. Let me at least get these three in. So it's going to be first. So first off, it's going to be like this little clip from Essence, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, just the relevant part.
Possible. And so in this conversation, I had an opportunity to be transformed within myself because I am able to see that is something I took on in myself because of my own trauma, of the things I experienced for myself, that I no longer wanted to be my
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to the beginning. This is like still playing from a different part. There we go.
But why this conversation for me was so transformative was because I was living in a world as a Black queer woman, born and raised in the South, that truly did not believe that there was a Black man that would protect me, that there was no opportunity for him to potentially have some level of sexual connection to me.
That's the relevant part. Let me put this other part up.
Talking about don't cuss.
They're trying to take our right.
They told me to stop talking on their phone.
You said we can't even write.
And I am so sick and tired of fucking men. Fuck. Now I'm about to keep cussing.
Okay, that's fine, Charles.
But make sure you
fuck. Shut your fucking knees. I go back. You're a booty butter bastard. I go back.
It's crazy. We didn't do anything disrespectful.
Talking about you're gonna let us out of the side. We're Black women. You're a Black king. You're supposed to protect us, but you're not.
Okay.
You're not.
Exactly.
Okay, so all I ask.
You're supposed to protect Black women. You just picked us up from the hospital.
Exactly.
This is not anything about
protecting or not protecting. You get in, you start cussing, and I say, ladies, please, language, please. And you say,
we're grown women. We're grown women.
There's no fucking timeout. Cancel the
We're
ride.
grown women.
Okay.
Okay, make sure you after you cancel because I'm not going to pay. You're definitely not getting your tip. Oh yeah, hold on. Because you're not even in a Tesla. He's driving the wrong car, Uber. He's driving the abscess Tesla.
Please exit the vehicle.
No problem. Shay, I hope everything good finds you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's deep, man.
And let me get this other one
How
in
was
too.
that
This-
deep?
let
Of
me
course
get to
she
this
had
one, too.
blue hair. Of course she had blue hair, y'all.
Now here's the last one. I'm gonna play this last one real quick.
Man, let me be the first to say I love me a black man.
Come on now.
I'm going on the record. Where's all my cameras at?
Look at
I
all the
love
cameras.
me a black man. We gotta make that clear today.
Come on now. The show called for the fellas.
Yes.
Give some advice to black men. How can we show up better for black women?
Black men have to do a better job at protecting black women at all costs. I've said this before, but protection can show up in so many different
Now we're done with it.
Yeah. In my prime, I wasn't about black men, but today, when I'm about to hit the wall, I'm about black men. When I was in my prime, I wasn't about black men, but today, I'm about to hit the wall. So yeah, come on, black men.
Didn't want you in their prime, be grabbing onto you in the decline.
They still don't want.
You gotta have a line. Yeah, you really have to have a Lion King moment with them hoes. You know what I mean? And just let them
What you mean a Lion King moment?
That's why I
let
say.
them fall
Excuse me,
off.
perfect timing. Yeah, excuse me,
That's
perfect timing.
Go ahead. This is why I say.
Bruh.
That's it's because people see it and it's like that's not surface. That's why I say that's deep. The first lady was overweight. The first lady was obese, morbidly obese.
Yeah.
So if
And
you were,
LGBT.
I worked in bariatric surgery, and I tell this story before.
Oh.
When I worked in bariatric surgery, one of the things I was surprised. I worked at Kaiser for 15 years, training doctors. And one of the things they put me in bariatric surgery because of my high skill level, right? And how dynamic the department was. One of the things that made it dynamic is there was a psychologist embedded in the department. So bariatric surgery, Kaiser piloted that program. They invented bariatric surgery in the department. So it wasn't just a doctor, your primary care. It was a group of physicians. It was a therapist. And it was also someone to help you lose weight. And the thing that would keep you from getting the gastric bypass surgery is if you could not, at this time, pass a psychological equivalation exam. So, and I thought that was odd. I'm like, well, if someone overweight and they want to lose weight, why won't you just let them get the surgery? And they said, what we found is people were killing themselves. So we embedded a psychologist in this department. And if you can't pass a psych eval, we won't give you the gastric bypass surgery. Because
I'm glad I got you in here to talk about this. Like everybody else got to mention their thing on it, but I was like, I know that Perfect Time is going to have something to say that's going to be definitely a boon to the discussion here.
The reason I bring it up is because she obviously has some mental health issues. And that's why I say it's deep, because at each of these black women, it's different levels, but a lot of times I like to come in the back check and talk to you guys about this, but it frustrates me because I don't date black women. I don't even deal with black men who date black women because of the mental health that I see right here. And it's being, I don't know, you see black men on panels helping them with the delusion, but what I see is a mental health issue and a delusion, right? And it's not a reality when they present these dynamics that you should protect me no matter what. That's not reality for no other culture, and not even in the comic book. And we all like comic books. Like, this is something that's a parallel universe to reality, right? That you get in my car and you act like a dog, but then I protect you. Like it's so much you jump over. Like, is a lot of mental health in these videos. So we could go to, I hate black women and it's their skin color, but a lot of times I want black men to see that you're dealing with someone who has a mental illness. And I look at a person who deals with that person as also having a mental illness, right? Because how can you not identify, you know what I'm saying? How can you not identify that this equation that you have as a title is not something that's a viable, like a thought process? It's just something that they've created in their cartoon Disney brain. And then there's men who buy into it. Only thing I can say is that they got to be crazy too, because these women are obviously crazy. And anybody who buys into it or deals with them or sleeps with them or dates them obviously hasn't reached that, that where we are now. Like, this is why we say red pill, blue pill. Like, they still, they still sleep. They still, and that's why I say it's deep. It's deep to me. It's not surface. It's not simple. How they got to this mental illness and this deluded state is not simple. And most men don't see it. So that's why I say it's deep.
It's not
we didn't even get to see like the rest of the clip. Like, she went on and on talking about trauma, and my trauma, and trauma. And I'm like, what does that have to do with Black men protecting you? Like, she really went heavy into trauma, but you didn't even see that part of the clip. And you already ended up saying, there's probably something psychological going on here.
Hey, Perfect Time, what do you think about this, bro? I don't think that it's a mental health issue that can be fixed the way they're trying to fix it, right? Like, and when I say that, what I mean is a lot of these women who are trying to, heal, quote unquote, or take care of their mental health, who get therapy, they're not really getting real therapy. They're getting a friend that they're paying to agree with them about what their problems are, which typically they sit in there and just blame men for everything, right? And then what they'll do is they'll get them things like Celexa, Zoloft, all these other antidepressants, SSRIs, and all of these drugs, and that never really fixes their root issues.
So check this out. Let me tell y'all a story about my life. Like, and so y'all remember the super predator, right?
Yep.
So I don't know if I was ever
Thank
supposed
you,
to
Hillary Clinton.
you're right. I don't know if I was ever supposed to live this long to get this understanding, right? When I heard that for most of my life, I'm gonna be 51. When I heard that for most of my life, I was upset. At 51, and then we having this conversation now. You know what? How much of it was true?
What?
Right. I don't agree with the solution, right? Because it was me and my brothers and my cousins got incarcerated over years. Bunk beds 4 high in California, right? But how much of it was true? When we say,
yeah,
right, how much of it was true when we say, can they be fixed? Can you fix a hoe? I mean, especially these super hoes, these sexy red hoes. So it makes me think of that super predator conversation and why it resonated with 50-year-old people. At the time, I was 20, so I hated the white man who said it. But 50-year-old Black people, there was truth in what he said, despite his solution may have been racist.
Well, I mean, Biden did actually get the support of the Congressional Black Caucus for that crime bill, and he used a lot of that same rhetoric. He said, if I don't care when my grandmother, mother is walking down the street and a 14-year-old, they want to bust her upside the head. I don't care.
What he said was, we failed them and we cannot fix them. That's what you just brought up. Can we fix these women?
Hold on. I think we got some lying going on here, or some miscommunication, or some reality bending events going on right now. Okay, the first thing, when you said a 14-year-old son, 14-year-old kid robbing somebody or busting my grandma across the head, right? You don't. The only reason you have that is because you have economical deprivation of a level that's not seen in anywhere else on the planet.
No.
Right?
Hold on. Let's not.
Hold on. Let me finish, bro. I ain't interrupt nobody. I ain't interrupt nobody. No, I'm just saying I did not interrupt you, bro.
But actually, you did. But actually, I didn't finish my comparison. This what I agree with you, but that's not what I'm saying. The circumstances behind why, when I was 14, I did that thing, I agree with you. And you wasn't 14 back then. I was. So what I'm saying to you, what Biden said is, we failed them. We created this thing, and I'm comparing it to the whole in the woman that we're talking about today. And can it be fixed? That's why I want you guys. And I know I'm older. That's why I grounded the conversation, right? What I realized at this age is that Biden's solution was racist, but he wasn't wrong about the fact that we have mentally created something that cannot be fixed by a psychologist. These men,
usual,
right?
I put that speech that he made defending the '94 crime bill in the back chat. You can hear him like out of his own words exactly what.
Yeah, I got here, because I remember seeing it, but I don't remember hearing it in detail. I was really
just listen to it.
But
listen to it.
it's not even
Go
about
ahead, bro.
that. It's about the black woman today. And what I want to say is, because I was one of those black kids, Joe Biden was right about the fact that we were mentally broken by the fatherless homes and the environments that we created that made us do those crimes. But his solution was wrong. So when we talk about today and these black women, can they be fixed in their? I would say no. I agree with you. But that's why I wanted to base it in what Joe Biden said, because I don't know if we've done that healing yet to be like, you know what? They did, and we talk about it a lot in the black manosphere and the gynocracy. Those black boys that were created, which I was one of, were fucked up, bro. And it was a design how they created us, right? So if we look at that, and then look at that problem that was created by design, and we look at the sexy red problem today that was created by design, yeah, man, I don't know if you could fix it. I think it's like you got to go through another generation. I think this generation may be thrown away, right? Because otherwise you come up with a racist solution, because I don't have a better solution. But I do know, looking back, that Joe Biden, and that's why he got the Congressional Black Caucus, because we was wilding. We was wilding. And the mathematics behind why we was wilding is why he was successful with the bill. He was honest. He said, we failed them. We created them. The society created them. But now we have to do something, and there's no other solution. This same conversation could be had about the black woman today.
Let me play this real quick and let me see what you think about this here. This is kind of like on that whole like swirl thing.
To admit, but I do think a lot of people. Okay, so
Let me
this
get
is
it
kind of hard
started
to
from the
admit,
beginning.
but I only dated white guys for 12 years. My friends even called me a Dairy Queen behind my back. And thankfully, I actually finally broke that streak when I moved uptown to Harlem. And the first time I ever made love with a bonnet on was truly a transformative experience. I won't get into it, but why am I telling you this? Because this weekend, I saw one battle after another. That's Paul Thomas Anderson's movie with the amazing Tiana Taylor. She did her thing. Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean fucking Penn. It was so good, y'all, and that man deserves an Oscar for it. His, no spoilers, but his character has this weird kind of racial fetish thing going on. And it kind of made me think about my own dating history. Because growing up, if you would have asked me why I was down with the swirl, I would have just been like, oh, you know, I only went to school with white people, or, oh, black guys don't like me. But the truth of it is, I was probably on some level bought into white supremacy, or better said, white superiority, meaning that I thought if I dated white guys, that would make me better than other black people. And it's sad to admit, but I do think a lot of people do struggle with this kind of internalized racism. Now, as I've grown into my self-love, I have thankfully outgrown that mindset, and I'm so grateful I did, because it feels so good to be yourself, you know? And I just thought it was an interesting topic that I wanted to discuss, because lately my algorithm has been showing me all this like black woman looking for white men content. And some of it's funny, but some of it legit makes me uncomfortable, because it like, is this about black women finding love or black men getting hate? You know, if you love yourself, you have to love your people. So I'm actually curious, for those of you in interracial relationships, what are your thoughts? How has it been for you? And how do you think it has affected how you move and are seen in this world?
All right. So that's not a sexy red there, but she is talking about her 12-year experience over there with Brad, and what we get on the other side of that thing.
She's still not healed. She's still not healed. If you listen to it, play it again, she's still not healed.
Heal. Oh, hold on, y'all.
Man, I hate
I
that
don't know
word,
what y'all
heal.
saying. Hold on. Give me a second.
Healthy, sane, whatever you want to say. She's still not fixed. She admitted she was broken for 12 years.
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is, bro. Women have been hypergamous since the beginning of time, bro. So that's not a quote unquote biology. That's not a fix anything, bro. Two, bro. Yeah, maybe she get. I'm like, yeah, she probably does have some mental issues to go along with it. Also, yeah. Let's not actually, act like that's not a thing, right? But when we go to, I'm gonna go back forth to the other conversation and jump back to this one, right? Constant conversation that was just spoken about. When you go through the conversation of deliberately, there was no fixing in the black community. There was no one ever tried to fix anything. To repeat this, no one, United States government didn't try to fix anything. It actually, this is it saw a fire and said, shit, let's pour some more gasoline and we're gonna put some nitrate on it and we're gonna make it burn a little hotter. If you study anything of history, right, of world history, right, do you understand what happened to the population in China once they got hooked on quote unquote opioids? Do anybody know? And what the Chinese process to actually fix that was? Do anybody know?
The Boxer Revolution.
I know.
The Boxer Revolution.
Yeah, but first off, necessarily they made that shit illegal to have in the country. Right? The first thing they did, they made it illegal.
They outlawed it.
Like, you got this shit on you, bro. They outlawed it, right? See what I'm saying, right? There was none of that necessarily in the United States, right? And if you outlaw and we caught you on this shit, we was killing you, bro, right?
Yeah,
So they start putting people to the stakes necessarily, right? And they outlawed it, and they also remember at the same time brought those people from out of that environment, right, into a different environment. I keep saying this thing, and people keep for some reason excluding this, right? You cannot fix a crackhead in a crack house. Repeat this again. You cannot fix a crackhead in the crack house. You can't get a properly fix a brothel person. That's the person who's working in the brothel inside the brothel. Bro. The environment dictates where you're going to be and how you look at shit. So when I see some of these things, I'm like, there was never any effort to fix any of these things, right? And the people who did try to fix some of this stuff necessarily, like I said, there was one person versus the entire system. So I mean, so that kind of correction was kind of crazy. So the super predator thing was baffling me because like, when somebody makes their own personal choice to be whatever they choose to be, that's something different, man. That's them making their own choice. But I'll go back to again this one. Chicks who have the divestment mindset, bro, they have a hatred of themselves holistically, right? They hate themselves, they hate what they produce, they hate what their looks, they hate everything about themselves, right? That's an inferiority complex, bro. So we have people just like you have the Asian woman in America, right? She dates out at half the was it 55% rate?
Mm-hmm.
Their men have accomplished their plans. Their men have much as the white man, if not actually more on hand, right? And they actually have a country to go back to. What is their issue? They have an entire inferiority complex that they've hold on to, and they have inferiority complex mixed with the quote unquote natural inclination of women of wanting to be whoever has power. So I mean, we're looking at these things weirdly. It's almost like y'all don't understand the reality of the world that y'all living in and how these things connect together to give you the individuals that you have. But I'm gonna be quiet now and let y'all have it.
No, I could add to some of that as well, because a lot of the negative stats that we actually experience are really proportional to the racial wealth gap. Like if you look at it, it's kind of like similar to that. It might be like a 8-to-1 or a 9-to-1 or something like that with regards to everything down the line. Even with criminal justice, it ends up becoming an issue that's kind of correlated to that. Like the more that you have to spend on a defense, the more likely you are to get less time or to not get convicted. And then we have those wrongful convictions, and then we have like that the percentage, like we have like something like 50% of people that do get exonerated are us, when we're only like 13% of the population. Like it's like everything down the line, and it just kind of goes all of it back to revolving around the racial wealth gap, even in terms of like the healthcare disparities, like how we lost like 1.6 million lives in like 20 years. Like everything kind of like just kind of goes back to that economic deprivation. And
when they say things like trickle down economics, that's typically how it works. You know, anything that they do that doesn't work at the government level, it trickles down and it affects Black America in far worse ways than it affects a lot of the rest of America. Right?
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't seen this before, like with the Italians and stuff. I mean, like there are other groups that had that those same issues. It is just that eventually, at some point in time, they were let into whiteness, and they were allowed to go into the suburbs that we were denied access to, and they were allowed to get into places that had appreciating assets as opposed to depreciating assets. Like it's mind blowing that there are some houses and some residences that actually went down in value instead of up in value. When you go and you look at that stuff normalized.
I just want to say this. I just want to say this real quick. Right now, how many people have seen the Indian reservations out there in New Mexico and Arizona and a few other places? Have anybody actually seen them?
Yeah, I have.
Only on TV. I noticed some of them don't even have power.
I seen them.
All right, yeah, right. The ones who actually have the money, right? The Indians who have the money, they operate like any other group of people on the planet, right? It's the ones that's out there that's in far New Mexico, where New Mexico, not Mexico, but New Mexico, right? Where they have no access to no running water, they ain't got no access to no food, they can barely grow any crops. The only food that they actually or do have access to is sugary, white bread, grease, whatever field food. Man, you see the most fucked up necessary stuff. You see people drinking themselves to death. You see a lot of these things, but these things are social, bro. These are financial things, right? If I put you in a quote unquote in a trash can and then lock the trash can and say this is all you got to live in and eat, you will adapt to either being in that trash can or you will die. Just like you go down to New Mexico right now, right? For me, I'm just kind of big on nature and shit like that. There's a fish that's been living in the New Mexico desert for I don't know, billions of years, right? So it's the only fish that can actually live with an environment where it's basically little areas in the water and little quote unquote nutrients in the water or whatever, but the fish found a way to genetically survive in that water, right? But as the people started putting different things in that water, it started killing the fish because the fish couldn't adapt to the new environment quick enough. I think we're having this, I don't know, maybe a lopsided view of it, but I'm not saying that some of the things are not actually true. I repeat this. I'm not saying some of the things are true, but I do want to say we got to really understand how you got in the said position, bro. So that's when we start saying 99 crime bills, nah. That's like me if I take a little baby and I rape that baby from the age 1 to the age, I don't know, 35 and being like, oh, well, I tried because I one day I did give him a handkerchief. I tried. No, you didn't try anything. You gave him a handkerchief, bro. Stop lying.
So I want to talk about this video right here. If you look at her eyes and you look at her forehead, this back to this mental health issue, and this person is a good example. If we watch the video again, this is a clear example of this delusion, right? She admits that she had a delusion and she did have an inferiority complex, but she never said that she came to the point where she started loving herself. She just started saying that I put on a bonnet and I had sex with a black man, and now I can see with black women. She never looked at herself. And this is what I was saying from the beginning. It's a mental illness. This is a perfect example of these crazy women right here. Her eyes, everything about her. And she believes she's sane. She believes she's made a sane decision, right? But what I'm not hearing is that I fell in love with myself. And I realized, fuck everybody else. I'm going to love who I want to love, and I'm going to love who loves me because I fell in love with myself. She's still identifying these racial colors and skin types and making them priorities and shit like that. And this is the delusion. If you can go deeper, it's a lot. This is not no simple conversation. There's not no simple conversation. This is an example. If you look at her eye, if you know mental health issues, you can look at this person and tell. If I was in a bar, me and my guys would be like, blood, look at her eyebrows. No, do not talk to her. It's obvious telltale signs, right? And if you listen to it again, she hasn't done the work on herself. She just said, I slept with men for this amount of time because I had this mental health issue. Now I'm sleeping with these men and I haven't corrected that issue. So now I'm just plaguing black men with my inferiority complex.
I guess she basically found more is like her. That's all she did. She found a group of people who had the same mental issue as her, so she not left out. And what is one thing that women are going to quote unquote don't want to do?
Nah. Wait up. Hold up. Sorry to interrupt, but I gotta step in and say this. Like I mentioned earlier, for some of y'all, you think it's mental illness, but in some cases, it's not actually mental illness. What it is she's just masking as a coping mechanism because she has nothing but regrets, but doesn't want to own up to the fact that she's accountable for her actions and her choices. And when she's with these black men, just like her face shows, it's not a mental illness. It's actually just contempt and resentment. Some of these women are mental. Some of these women have mental illness, yes, but some it's not.
But those things are
go ahead.
Right? Those things are psychological, right? I agree.
Yeah, they are psychological.
I may be using the wrong term, right? So if you want to say it's not a mental I won't debate that. But these things are definitely rooted in and their ideology and the way they think, and that's flawed.
Yeah. That's why I said. That's why I said
but that
contempt, resentment, animosity. Yeah.
That ideology
Go
is
ahead.
more of a result of, second wave, third wave, and now we're on our fourth wave of feminism, really, that they've accepted that black women are,
Combined with the legacy of slavery, combined with the legacy of 400 years of oppression, it's been conditioned. It's been passed on from generation to generation.
it's just
Go ahead.
Well, maybe, but let's hear what Bronk goes with. Though. Go ahead, Bronk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just constantly evolving because, realistically speaking, it's been that way since, we got off the ship. When you think about the relationship that the black woman has had with the white man versus the relationship we've had with the white man since since we got here, right? It's always been a different struggle for us than them. And
bro,
it seemed at one point during the civil rights movement that, it was all about bringing the family together and advancing together as a people. But now it seems we're so far away from that.
Let me go ahead and throw a bomb out. I got to throw a bomb real quick and just kind of like blow up the discussion and piss everybody off. What do you think?
Fire in the hole!
Yeah,
fire in the hole!
Like be prepared for this one here. What if, and just playing devil's advocate, but like, what if going through 12 years with Brad changed the way that she's presented? Like, look at how she's presenting herself. It's not particularly in like, I don't see any crazy wild colored hair, tattoos all over the place and everything. Like, could we say that maybe like going and dealing with Brad kind of got some sort of act right now? I mean, like, is that now going to be like some sort of an answer going forward that like they go?
Inspired. She said this is the act right. Has sex with a bonnet. So she's downgrading, right? She said, okay, so listen what she said. When I was with Brad, I always had my hair done. He could run his fingers through my hair. When I started having sex with Jamal, this was the first time I wore a bonnet, i.e. I didn't comb my hair. I didn't care about that presentation for him. It was cool. It was cool. 12 years, she never had sex with a bonnet because I know I live in Sacramento, Northern. I live with it's the melting pot. There's a certain type of black woman. I know the woman she's describing. She said 12 years. This is the first time I had sex with a bonnet on. She probably never wore a bonnet around a white boy. I know these girls.
According to herself,
yeah, I was gonna say one thing. I can add it from this level. It's like pretty much like this, right? If you run into a wall, see what I'm saying? Eventually, you will either two things will happen necessarily. Your head will eventually crack, or you gonna go through that wall. That's the only two options that'll really come. And women will eventually do figure out that, it ain't nothing on the other side of the fence, right? I've been on the bowels of human society, which is Twitter, bro. Some of the most quote unquote divestment chicks, whatever, they got a black boyfriend. Like some of the most quote unquote, I want to dream to be a divestment kind of woman. They have black boyfriends, they have black children, bro. So at the end of the day, it's their internal quote unquote either lust, desire, and delusion that you're gonna go some other place and not be who you are. Like for me, when I go to Thailand, I was still me. Right, granted, maybe a small aspect may have changed about myself. That I may have ate more spicy food than I normally did, but I was still me. I was still kind. I was still generous. I was still respectful, bro. When I practiced Muay Thai, I still had the same mentality I did when I did boxing. Nothing really changed about me necessarily, right? But the thing is, when they think they go into these different environments, they think that's going to change them necessarily into a whole new person. You're still the same person.
So,
bro, like I didn't have like the clips to show it this time around. I played it on some of the other ones, but like what you talking about there with like there'll be like full on black women married to black men still on the divest be with Brad bandwagon. Like,
amen.
It's crazy.
But hey, you be coming up with some shit, bro. I know you young. And I don't know if you be knowing what you be saying. So you stayed the same, right? Even and when you travel, and you talked about something that we're getting at right now. Do you realize, brother, do you realize, I'm talking to you, do you realize you can't change? Do you really, this is the difference between, this is what I'm presenting today. We're forced. You're forced into this thing. You have to be this man. You have to be this nigga. You can't change. This is what Martin Luther King was saying, the stigma. He said, what's different between y'all and other? It's a stigma. You can't change. You wear the stigma. The black man, but she don't, bro. She can't. Look at her. I dated him for 12 years. I go over here. I go over there. I wear blue hair. I'll be a lesbian. I do this. We're confined. That's part of the leftovers of slavery. You make some good points, bro. Yes, we are forced into this box like chattel. But nah, bro, this is what we bringing up. This is where the delusion comes from. This is the separation because they live a different reality. And I like where y'all was going, where you combine that with the slavery mentality, then you get their false reality, right? If you get the fourth wave feminism combined with the slavery, like y'all was going in the direction, then you get this diluted reality that's not really a thing. That's the comic book aspect. They're like comic book evil villains, and they're living in their own reality, their own creation. And you, my young brother, even when you travel abroad, you're forced. You always gonna be a black American male. That history is.
He was just being himself. He was being himself.
I took what I said a little bit differently. What I mean is my personality change. What I mean is who I didn't change who I am was when I meant by that. It's like since as long as I've always remembered, I've always been a person that a very astute person, right? I always watch more than I listen. That aspect of me did not change because I quote unquote went to a new place, right? When I fight necessary, I do boxing, I do wrestling, right? I'm still an astute person that said I'm watching for the counter. I'm still looking for the quote unquote the loopholes or the quote unquote the counter attack. And even when I'm boxing, what I'm doing when I was doing Muay Thai, my aspects of me did not change, right? When they go to a different environment, quote unquote, they think they're radically changed as an individual, right? Like, oh, I'm in this new environment, I'm a new woman.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. That's exactly
The thing is, what you're trying to say, usual, is like women think they can just go into any place they can go to, they can go to another environment, and they can try to reinvent themselves as something else.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say, because for perfect timing, being the older gentleman, and Inspired Truth, if I could use a TV reference, I look at this woman and she reminds me of a few TV characters. That's relevant to the conversation. Does anybody remember? No. Does anybody remember the character? Yeah, hold on. First of all, does anybody remember the show Living Single and the character Maxine Shaw, played by Erica Alexander?
I'm living.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, I remember the show that what's her name, Sophie Ellis Ross had called Girlfriends, and there was that one friend in particular. That one friend, Tony. Yeah.
It's
Tony from Antoinette, because she was married to a white man. Remember how she treated him? I mentioned this a few times on a couple of other streams. That character and then the way they conducted themselves lets you know what the world thinks of black women. Hell, in Living Single, Kim Fields' character was no different. Each character, people have their if you find the line, what I'm saying, and I'm an outsider looking in on this and realizing, whoa! I mean, I understood the importance of that show, but there were certain things about those characters that led to certain stereotypes. Where it was Kim Fields, Queen Latifah, Kim Coles, or Eric Alexander. Their characters had some level that represented a certain type of stereotype here or there in black society, or how they're perceived as by the greater society. And this woman right here, the way she presents herself, first of all, she said she was been dating white men for 12 years. First of all, what's her social status? Where is she in which class is she in? Because women like her are going to be with certain white men in certain classes. You cannot escape the class factor here.
Yeah, she said she was rich.
Same thing.
She was rich. She said she was born around and she was wealthy. She was rich. That's why she had access.
Yes. So she had access to upper class white men. And upper class white men conduct themselves a certain way, whether they're in relationships or whatnot. were more than aware of it, and she probably was dating them, but she never was in a serious relationship. She might have been gone from one to another, looking for Mr. Right.
It was serious for her.
She can't in 12 years. She's frustrated. She's like, Maxine, yeah, that's right, Landon. Maxine Shaw, the lawyer.
Even in that
And
show,
who
they talk
remembers?
about that. That's a good point. Because they get tired of being there first. And they go from white men to white men being there first. Maxine talked about that. They get tired of being the first black woman, and they're just this candy. And then after they get their first black woman, they leave them for a white woman. Yeah, and they get tired of that. That's been in movies.
Because it's an experience. It's an experience.
Exactly.
They don't want to be fetishized. But let's not forget also something that's very important to that character, Eric. Remember the one person she was really intimate with, but resented at the same time? T.C. Carson's character.
I forgot his name.
What's his name? Kyle.
Kyle, yeah.
Kyle. Because remember, in the show, Sinclair, played by Kim Coles, and I forgot the brother who played Overton, they were both working class. She understood him. She understood him. He understood her. They understood each other's quirks, and they were matched together. She never shitted on him because he was a handyman and worked as a superintendent for the building. He didn't clown on her because she worked as her cousin's assistant, played by Queen Latifah. Maxine, however, resented Kyle in certain ways. Even though he worked in corporate America, he also liked to perform jazz. He wasn't being what she wanted him to be. He was himself. At some point, he looked at her and said, "Why are we together?" And she's like, "I don't even know why we're together." In one scene, he's like, "You know what? You're right." She's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" "I mean, it's over. It's done. Finito." And the way T.C. Carson, conducted himself as Kyle, excuse me. I don't know, I'm getting him mixed up with Alfonso Ribeiro's character. Excuse me. But the way he conducts himself, corporate, well-to-do. He was like Kevin Samuels with the dreads, but he spoke and conducted himself a certain way, a way that she was drawn to, but she just resented the outer packaging.
She was self-hating.
I think she probably resented like him actually, being worth a damn. I mean,
that's what she resented.
He was
when he serenaded her.
Let me get in for a second.
Go to get it.
Listen, let's see. Yeah, the thing is, we saw this whole action. Kevin Samuels, I agree with my gentleman just was talking, that Kevin Samuels showed them what was going on mentally, and they rejected him and they hated him for showing them the truth. So that's why we can't correct some of these women psychologically, because they don't want to hear the truth. They reject the truth. If you give them the truth, they are going to hate you for giving them the truth.
You got to give them the backhand. You can't give them the truth, bro. You got to give them the backhand.
And for usual business, I think if you get them young, once they've been out here, they're messed up. Once they've been attacked by this TV and this media, they're messed up. Only if you can get them young and away from all that stuff can you train these women to act right. But other than that, a lot of them are lost cause because their minds and their spirit are gone. The white man has them.
Yeah, their minds and their spirits look a whole lot like this.
Black woman being yearned for and loved out loud by someone that looks like this is beautiful. Like dark skinned Black woman being yearned for and loved out loud by someone that looks like Nick. It's like, this is beautiful. Like this is like healing the world in a sense.
Yeah, that and also this.
Whites love him some motherfucking
to be able to court us, and white men are.
And she's with a black man. It's crazy. Like, I didn't show that whole clip there, but like she was saying all that stuff. Like, but yeah, wow, with a black man. This is your chick talking behind your back, like while she's looking at these different shows. But anyhow, let me play some more.
The only thing that I'm learning from this season of Love Island is that fuck that you a white man. Look, I understand, I know, but the way that I just love how Bryce and Trinity are boyfriend and girlfriend now, and it's like, fuck with you a white man, cause he ain't gonna play with you. You see how Corbin doing, you see how KC doing. Get you a white man.
No, okay.
Bryce
Okay.
love him some motherfucking black women.
What's your opinion? What's the difference between dating a white guy and a black guy, in your opinion?
From my personal experience, I feel white men know how to treat a lady. There is a large conversation online about black women dating white men, and that white men are the low-key saviors to black women. They give black women the soft life. If you can't find a black man, run over to the white man. Even if you can find a black man, go get you a white man, live you a soft life and everything.
And then
Like,
also
where
this
is Helen?
here.
Bring her to me.
This
Achilles!
This is what their response is to all of that. Like what they see to that. Like, yeah.
Shit. What took y'all so damn long? Do you understand how long I've been waiting in this city? Don't you know I'm the most beautiful damn woman in the whole damn world? 10 years of war, and not one of y'all thought to check inside.
Now,
Oh my God.
That shit was funny. I mean, I saw that shit yesterday. But
I've seen that before.
But this is where the delusion kicks in, right? This is where they get into their little female groups and they start saying, "Oh, well, quote unquote, he was with this one black woman," right? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you that if you see that woman, I would consider her maybe like a 9 necessarily in my book. But I don't know, maybe my picker may be off and whatnot of my skill, but I would consider her a 9. Basically, when you're one of the quote unquote best looking human beings of your race, you can pretty much go anywhere, right? And then you're on Love Island, which is a show designed for quote unquote to be entertaining, right? So this is not even a real relationship. This is a fake relationship for the TV eyes or for whatever.
Casting.
It's reality TV mixed with soap opera, It's soap opera without the dun dun dun.
That's all you really missing. That's all you really missing is the dun 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 at the end of it, right? So I mean, these women who have these delusions are women who are already delusional, right? Like these are not women who are actually quote unquote sane, right? And so I'm not even convinced. I'm not even really like phased by this because these are people looking for confirmation bias. That's just like the same. That's like somebody who is like in Nigeria or some or any West African country and being like, there's no rich people in Africa at all, but you miss Dan Cote. You miss like all these other rich Nigerian men or Ghanaian men or Liberian men who actually quote unquote have money in this country, right? So it's like this delusional bias that you're telling yourself. So I'm just gonna be quiet, bro.
So
I get your frustration, brother.
But that woman in the bonnet in the bed, she has a black man. The disrespect is at 1,000. It's so high that you are with a man, a black man, and you're talking about this white, and that how much that's like much better.
Oh, he was in the bed. I didn't see that part.
So
I would slap shit out of her, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I could not have my wife doing something like that to me. I couldn't have my girlfriend. I couldn't have a female friend do that to me. Listen. You're a friend of mine. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? How are you? Why are you going to disrespect me like that in front of me? And you're going to be, come on, even behind my back. You need, I need my respect.
Once you put it on the internet,
hold on.
Once you put it on the internet, it's not behind your back. It's in your face.
That was the point. If you understand what's going on, that's exactly what I was going to say. Do you guys understand what they're doing? This is a high school teen girl game. And when you said what you said about why would you hurt me like that? Why would you do? I am so happy you said that before I got to go, because that is exactly the purpose. It's a character. They were all laughing and giggling and making a video. This was a high school mean girl game, and it happens more often than we actually discuss. It's a lot of times I want to join the panel and share this perspective because I don't think it's touched on enough that how things are being played out on social media by content creators and women what makes a woman tickle her fancy. This is a mean girl game. This is their response to their reality. This is a response to them unhappy with the bonnet, unhappy with, this is the insecurity. This is a response to the mental health and the mental illness I keep presenting today. It's a mean girl game. None of these women, and I know we will all agree, because they are not like the previous woman. None of the women who just played could ever date a white man of any caliber, right? We all know that. They got violence and weed. So
unattainable. They're unattainable.
Correct. And it's them saying this, right? Knowing that they could never get a white man. It's a mean girl game. And the goal is, my brother, as you eat them banana pancakes, is to hurt you. That's the whole goal.
Like I said, once you
Why do you gotta get me? Why do you get me hungry all of a sudden like that, man? Why do you gotta do my stomach dirty like that? Talking about banana pancakes. This man is sick. Because I don't need to be envious of my brother because he's being well fed and taken care of by his significant other, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? I can't even have pancakes. I can't even have pancakes, dude.
Right? Let alone bananas, man. My trainer said you gotta stop me.
Hey. I'm gonna say something really foul, but find the line what I'm just about to say. When they did that, AI clip of Troy with Samuel Jackson as Helena Troy because they want to take a shot at Lupita Nyong'o. Let's go back to 2016 with the Ghostbusters movie. Who got lambasted after that all-female cast, put out that movie?
I don't know. I think everybody, but I don't know.
Most of the women, they got criticized, yes, but one woman in particular got a whole lot of criticism, and she got, she was a target of a lot of cyberbullying and trolling and shitposting.
Forgot her name.
Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones, right. And remember, there were a lot of them were like comparing her face to Harambe, the gorilla from the Cincinnati Zoo.
I mean, no offense though, but like, I mean, Leslie Jones is the same woman who said on national TV in front of everybody that quote unquote the only way I can necessarily even get a man is when slavery was back on, because that's the only time I can get me a man. It was when slavery was instated. So that's a self-admission of goddamn, I am an ugly motherfucker, and I am.
Hey, I don't find her attractive either. Truth be told, I don't find her attractive either. She's 6 foot, and she just look at you like a linebacker about to take down a running back or something like that. She's looking at you like a linebacker, like,
no,
take you down.
That's one black woman.
It's not even that she's that ugly. It's more like
that's one black woman. That's one black woman I never be mad at. That's one black woman I never be mad at for not being married.
Brock said I ain't gonna be.
You can't fault her. You can't fault her. I mean, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Ain't gonna lie.
Whoopi Goldberg a pass. We gonna get him a pass. They gonna get him.
Whoopi was thick.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I seen young Whoopi. Young Whoopi wasn't that bad when she was 21 years old, bro. She wasn't that bad looking, bro.
Yeah, she was thick.
Whoopi also had a child with a white man.
Yeah,
Whoopi had a child with a white man. Lynn Whitfield has a daughter with a white man.
Yeah, they dated white boys.
And
you know what? To the white at the end of that video, you know what I say? I do the politics, right? And I talk a lot about Biden, and I say, people in America think we were the only ones watching Biden fall asleep. You know what's ill about that video is how much the white boys know and understand what we're discussing here today. Did you see how he laughed? And did y'all see the other video? I don't know if it was Roger, but it was the blonde white boy, and he was it's viral. And he said, "Will you date a black woman?" He said, "If you're talking about sexy red, no. But if you're talking about back in the 90s, did you saw that?" He said, "So
I saw that one.
They are
I remember that clip.
And they see what we see. As we sit here and discuss this, they are actually watching the same thing play out. And that's why she could say, I didn't wear a bonnet for 12 years, because he fucking wouldn't accept it, because he's watching the same things we watch. And he would tell a black bitch, I'm not a nigga. Comb your fucking head.
Hey, perfect timing.
Crazy that they don't
perfect timing.
realize we're on the same internet. We're all on the same internet. We all see the same thing.
We're on the same internet, bro. We get the same Twitter feed, bro. I just came off of Twitter talk an hour ago. Like I'm seeing all the the white guys mad that
that was a white dude presenting that video. Did you hear his
laugh?
His laugh.
I heard what he said.
His laugh came
I heard what he said.
He dated white.
Oh, by the way, hold on a second, just a moment. Inspired. Somebody's at a tunnel runner is asking to come back up.
Oh shoot! My bad. My bad.
He just finished the pen.
It's cool.
He just finished.
Let him stay back on the back chat. Let him stay in the back. Let him stay in the back.
Yeah, you're right. He needs to. Yeah, you don't want to have that like McDonald's incident, right? You know them kids, them sick kids. You know, like for the kids with the McDonald's episode incidents.
Let me show.
You know what I'm talking. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm gonna see if I can try to do one more thing real quick. I'm gonna try to see if I can play this because I didn't get the clip from. I know I should have the clip from it, but I don't know where the hell it is. But I'm gonna go to the thing. I'm gonna try to play it like from YouTube, and then just kind of like react to it like as I go along. If it'll even let me do that, like because it's messing with me. All right, there it is. Now it's like pause. Let me see if I go right.
Fair use.
StreamYard is StreamYard.
Yeah, where'd my thing go? It disappeared. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, it disappears. Yep, it does that.
All right, let me share my screen and blah 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 blah. Don't just clip, share screen. And then I'm going to do this.
It only does it when you have momentum too. It's like it's listening to you.
Sometimes it'll do like that.
Yeah. It only happens when you have momentum. It only happens.
Let's get that. Is this showing up right now? Can y'all see this?
Nope.
No.
For real?
Nope.
Oh wait, I know why.
I don't see anything either.
And you can see it in the back too. StreamYard is cold.
There we go.
There it is.
There we go. Now I got it. Yeah.
All right.
And she fine.
There we go. All right.
And she's fine. Look at her. And she's fine.
Which one?
Let's go ahead and play.
That yellow one. Look at that yellow one. That's her hair too. Look at her.
I hope it's not. I don't. I'm thinking she better be ADOS because if it's somebody of my ilk, that's what I'm gonna say.
There we go. Now, so
I
this
think I've
is one
seen
like
her
shout out to
before.
Dee Dee. She does some good work. Like dang, she's been married for a long time. Like what, some like 30 years. But like anyhow, shout out to her. She came up with this one here, and this is kind of like typifying the whole thing that we see that goes on the hybristophilia side of things.
Who is she? What's her name?
Oh, that's Dee Dee.
Okay.
But like, so she's like kind of pointing out this whole like hybristophilia thing. Like, we'll kind of like see all the chicks that like, and this is like an extreme example where somebody actually goes out of their way and gets pregnant for a dude that's in lockdown that has like 15 years left. But I'll go ahead, I'll get to play some of this. Hopefully I'm in the right spot.
This is just a disclaimer. I don't need anybody in the comments telling me that I'm stupid, telling me that I'm dumb. Like, we all make mistakes. We've all done something like this. It's life. It happens. Oh, I want to say back in probably May.
No, just to clarify, no, we all have not done something like that. Don't say that ever again. No, we all have not dated a prisoner and got pregnant for him. And no, we all have not done that. Let's make
Yeah. She was going for her.
All women ain't out here dating prisoners and getting pregnant by them. Child, no. Let's continue.
Of 2024, I was scrolling on TikTok and I seen said inmate.
Have you ever noticed that like they always do these like story times while they're like doing their makeup at the same time? Like, I don't know what's up with that. Like, is there like some extra boost that you get for like doing your makeup while telling the story? I don't know, but any event, that's
I tell you why he caught my eye, because not only was he fine, he was silly and funny too. So I said, I'm gonna download this app and I'm gonna hit him up. This is the video right here, Pop. After that time passed of us getting to know each other, us talking, going through the work, we decided that we were going to be exclusive. We were going to be serious. I really liked him. He really liked me. And it went on from there. So we were talking for about maybe 6 months before I decided to go and see him and get approved to get on his visitors list. And mind you, if you have anybody who's incarcerated in Ohio, you know that's a whole process of trying to be an approved visitor on somebody's list. So I got approved to get on his list.
she had to wait months to get onto the approved visitors list to get down with a prisoner. Dude.
Bro.
And
this is Leslie Jones 2.0. What she like she basically telling you, I can only be with a dude that's incarcerated. I can only get me a dude if he enslaved, bro.
Bro, I just lost brain cells, man. I just lost brain cells listening to
this. Bronk, I found your brain cells. I found your brain cells. They're back here. I'll give you back to them later, okay?
This is the one who.
Wait. Hang on. Let me get you some sunglasses. You don't have to see this horror, man. I need to give them glasses that blind people use. You don't have to see this horror. Oh, this is nasty. And plus, she's a heavy set woman. Look at her.
She needs to go to roof.
She probably large.
When she date a regular,
yeah, she large.
When she is definitely large.
She want to go to roof, Chris, but she'll wait 4 months for a prisoner. She won't go to but she'll wait 4 months for a prisoner. These are our realities. These are our realities. This is the sickness that they will say, I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, but in reality, what they're really doing is waiting 4 months to have sex with a prisoner.
Huh?
This is like, it's only like 2% of black men that are actually in prison at any given time. Like, so she had to skip over 98% of black men in order to do this and wait months to make it mission accomplished.
Remember we
wait, hold on. Yeah, hold up a second. Inspired truth.
Yes.
Inspired truth.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
You have to understand. When it comes to women and female sexuality and their sexuality, there's nothing logical. It's all emotional. 90% is in the white matter of their brain. So anything she does is beyond logic. It's just how she feels about certain things. Something about that dude made her, you know what, tingle. That's why she had the way to get on that list.
Man.
Because, like she said, she had to get a conjugal visit. She needed that conjugal visit.
And do we know what was happening? Do we all understand that she knew, and do we know what was happening in that 4 months? Do we all get it, right? That he was fucking up.
Yeah.
Right? He was.
Hold on. Y'all missing a lot. There is logic to the madness. Y'all just got to turn off your brain. You got to turn off most of your brain, right? It's not all of it, but you got to understand most of it, bro, right? You turn off about 80%.
I can't do that. I know. Usual. I hear what you're saying. I know.
Let me finish. If you turn off,
okay, try to finish.
Your brain, right? If I'm a fat woman, I can't get a man, right? I finally found the man that will accept me. He's locked up. I know where he is all the time, necessarily, right? I know where I can get him at the time. And that's the only one I can get.
That's true,
right?
Yes. That's right.
You're right.
And she got control over him, courtesy of the state.
They like compromised men. They like compromised men. Because that's the most stability that they can have operating in the way that they operate, right? Because any man who is not compromised to that degree, they just walking out of that situation, right? Like, nah, I'm good. Bye.
Good
but
point.
If you compromise, you're gonna deal with a lot of that.
If I'm enslaved, bro, because that's the only time I'm gonna get me a man.
Man, let me try to play this explanation, because she tries to give an explanation on why and how she got pregnant with twins for this man. But like,
did you say, wait a minute, you didn't say that, did you? You didn't tell us.
I said pregnant with twins.
He just did say that, Booker T. He just did say that, Booker T.
Maybe I gave away the lead. I shouldn't have.
What?
I shouldn't have given it away the lead. Because this thing has like multiple parts to it. I guess it was like a TikTok or whatever. Like, I should have done this properly.
Oh.
I just couldn't help but to jump the gun. Like, I had to talk about this. I just had to.
Wow.
Let me play this. Let me play it. See if I can get to that point.
Or whatever. And about, I want to say a month to it took 2 months for me to actually go see him. So I get to the visit to go see him. He looking at me, I'm looking at him. He looking good, I'm looking good. And he like, damn, you look better than your pictures. And I'm like, same, like, you look good. Like, you look better than the video visits and the pictures that we had exchanged and seen of each other online. So we hug each other. When you're inside of the room, this is the inmates right here, and then these are the people who are walking in to come for the visit. So you have to line up, and then the inmates are lined up. So we're facing each other like this. So we get to walk in, give each other a hug, kiss, whatever. Then we go sit down at the table. If you order food, you get your food. If you want to take pictures, you can take pictures. If you want to go to the vending machine, you can go to the vending machine. But the whole thing is, if you and the inmate aren't taking pictures, they have to stay seated that whole entire time, right? So we're in there, we're sitting down, playing our game, eating our food, just really enjoying each other's company and really just getting to know each other in the physical. When I tell y'all the craziest thing happened, like, it was so insane, it was so fast, it was so quick. I still can't believe this to this day. I still can't believe that I'm in this
So we're on part 3 now. But yeah, let's let her cook.
situation. But hey, God give me lemons and I make lemonade all the time. But
girl, leave God out of it. This is the problem too. God ain't nowhere in it.
Yeah. You gotta leave the divine alone on that one. Let's see.
Bro, this was the modern the Keishan dating pool where, you know, the women say, I went to a dating market, or what is it? What is the dating events? I ain't no man there. I mean, she went to a place where she knew the man was gonna be there. The mixers, yeah, bro.
The speed dating,
she found the mixer where the man was gonna be there and available, and, you know, look how she was describing it. She was like, "Yeah, we sat down, we got some food, we was eating, we was talking." She I mean, this is a mixer for her, bro.
Like she's not in a prison. Yeah, she is describing it like it's not a prison, you guys. That's funny.
She is. It's the speed dating event. But here's the problem though. It's not even speed though, because it took months to see the man. How's it speed dating when it takes months? It's the
when you ain't got no motion. Some motion is better than no motion when you a fat chick, bro. Let's understand this. When you ain't got no motion, some motion is better than no motion.
Mm-hmm. Before you continue, look at it this way.
Yeah.
Love Island and everything, all those shows, those are reality TV shows. And in those shows, you see them conduct themselves, you know, as they are out and about. And then at some point then of course in between they cut to them talking to the camera, right?
Yeah.
So when these women are talking about what they were involved, it's kind of like they're reenacting their own version, like their own internal reality show where they're the star. That's why women, when they're like posting this crap on social media, it's like they're like in their own reality TV. When you think about it.
Yeah. Like when they go into like the little confession booth thing or whatever. Like it's like
like Big Brother, or like, you know, the little booth of Big Brother, or some other shows like that. Because remember, a lot of these folks grew up watching reality TV. We all did. You know? So when people confess it,
reality.
In a way it is, yeah.
That makes sense. Let me get into
That's how it is.
Play some more. Let's see. Let me see if this is gonna be getting to the part where they actually get down. Hopefully we get to that.
Let's continue.
Super big fight between, I want to say, an inmate and a family broke out, and all of the COs and security had ran over there, and they were all focused on that situation, trying to break the fight up. So, you know, me being me, I was like, I'm about to go in the bathroom. He like, I'm about to follow you in there. And I'm like, what's up? What you trying to do? He said, what you trying to do? Hurry up and go before they see us. So I go in the bathroom, y'all. We're in there for maybe a good 15 minutes because we were scared to come out, y'all. I kid you not. So we in the bathroom. I put my pants down. He munching. When I say munching, I mean certified eater on my mama. So we do what we do or whatever. And I'm like, where did you come at? And he was like, well, what you mean? I'm like, where did you come at? He was like, in you. I had almost passed out. I was like, why didn't you pull out? He was like, what you mean? I thought you said you wanted to marry me. I thought you wanted to be with me. I'm like, yeah, but that didn't mean leave it in.
Girl, now you got to be dumb.
So this is how that goes down. Like there was a fight, and so they took advantage of that fight as an opportunity to kind of go and get it in the bathroom.
Seemed very deliberate to me.
Yeah, that's not a whole lot of that's not a whole lot of confusion on how that happened or how that occurred.
I'm saying
I don't think God had nothing to do with that, bro. I mean, she saw the opportunity, and God ain't had nothing to do with that, bro. She was like, hey.
And she didn't get dumb in the bathroom. She been dumb for a long time. Like, she dumb now. No, she been dumb for a few months. This
and
whole
the way they explain it is wow, man. I just lost even more brain cells, man.
That's what I'm saying.
This is very hard. It's just hard to listen to her. It's like you don't see yourself.
So
ain't no way.
These story times are not real. That's why I don't fuck with TikTok. These story times are these ain't real. These story
these are bots.
When you hear story time, then you already know. And it's
like, you know what? We're gonna have to verify the stupidity going forward. Like, show me the baby and everything. Show me actual like evidence of all. But she did show a clip, I guess. Of
I look at this. I look at this vastly different, bro. I look at this necessarily as like back in the day, if a woman did some dumb shit necessarily right, you starved out there in the wilderness and people let you die. Since society has stopped letting people die and kill themselves, bro, we've had an issue, right? Because the idiots are breathing at a rapid rate. Hold on, I'm gonna finish. The idiots are breathing at a rapid rate necessarily more than the smart people. And that's the issue, bro. Because I'm telling you, back in the day, if we threw her in Africa and if she got pregnant by some random dude in Africa who's a prisoner, bro, she would be on the street trying to sell quote unquote bananas and trying to survive.
So one of the things
he ain't lying.
So one of the things about the Black manosphere is that we've talked about this before. These things is when we talk about the gynocracy, like they used to have bag ladies, right? The system that we have now is a product of the fact that we used to have that in America. When you were divorced, you were a divorcee, you were a spawn. No one wanted to be around you or your children, and there was no welfare, and you became homeless. It was women who were homeless. You had to be married, attached to a man, and have good character, or you became a bag lady. Then we created a safety net with welfare, child support, and everything that we have now with the gynocracy. And what do you no longer have? You no longer have a bag lady. But once upon a time, when I was a kid, you had a bag lady. And I would say, Mama, why that lady? And she would say, because she was bad to her husband. She got divorced. And people associated divorce with poverty and being homeless and being the bag lady. And there was an incentive to stay married. But
that's why people do what they do. They do them because of incentives. Let me see let me see if she puts this thing about like her GoFundMe and all the other good stuff.
Here we are, me being 2 months pregnant. I find out the gender in I want to say 6 more weeks, and that's how it started. And everybody's asking me like, well, how is he going to support you and the baby while he's incarcerated? I don't know. All I know is that I have my Cash App in my bio. I have a GoFundMe link in our bio as well. But I don't know how he's going to support us. Like, I don't know. And then not only am I pregnant with one child, I'm pregnant with 2. I'm having twins. So everybody is like, good or no.
All right. So, she's got a Cash App. She's got her GoFundMe. I think she'll be all right.
Do you see how casually she's talking about it, though? Do you see how casually she's talking about this situation? Like, there is no grief or remorse about the behavior that led to this.
No shame either.
No. See, y'all looking at this wrong. Y'all looking at this wrong, bro. They are immoral creatures, bro. The only thing that keeps them in line is quote unquote carrot and stick. And I keep saying this shit, carrot and stick, bro. She getting a whole bunch of carrots, she ain't got no sticks. And then back in the day, if you would try this bullshit, like, let's say you out there, you getting pregnant by a prisoner in jail, bro. You know what happened? Your kid get kicked outside the village. You get kicked outside the village, and you got to go out there in the wilderness and go hunt for some berries. That's how you handle the problem, bro.
Right.
That's how they handle it in most places on the planet. That's how they have it in South America. That's how they have it on the continent of Africa, bro. And in China, Japan, bro, you do some stupid shit like this, bro. You was out there living under the bridge. I've seen people physically who get addicted to certain things out there in Pakistan. They live under a bridge, bro, in the sewer, in complete darkness.
I think I get what you're going with this here. It's like you have like a structure of incentives and a structure of disincentives. And when you have a protection system around people, then you get rid of those natural disincentives for negative behavior.
Yeah, you know
Like,
how many
why are we
millions of
upset about this
Americans, you know how many millions of Americans are like benefiting from these incentives though? Like mostly these single mothers, right? Like you see that video I sent you yesterday with
Oh,
the
me?
single
Me or
mom?
somebody else? Oh yes, yeah, yeah,
You,
I remember.
with the single mom. So I sent him a video yesterday. Basically, this single mother, her 13-year-old daughter, literally invited a 20-year-old man over to the house.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I don't know if I saved that. I might have saved that video somewhere in my
Is that the one
archive.
where she unalived the dude and he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
my wife,
yeah.
Yeah.
He was
my
so
wife.
he was, you know, I guess she caught him under her bed. He's leaving the house, and then she shoots him in the back of the head.
And I guess he had been there before. They had a previous sexual relationship, and the mom knew about it. But
I bring that up though. I bring that up though because the system actually incentivizes that. The system actually incentivizes, you know, young black girls being sexually active with grown men because it what it does is it pulls the father out of the home. Think about it. Is a 20-year-old man ever thinking about going to a home where he knows a man is pregnant?
No.
To do that with a 13-year-old? Come on, man. Come on, bro.
You don't even like I said, the black woman culture is pretty much at this point necessarily brothel culture, because at that point you don't want men around, right, in any way to compare to, I mean, and to curtail this kind of issue, right? So then basically by default you have women saying, I don't want to be loose with my pussy, right? Ain't no men around to curtail that. That is basically a brothel culture 101.
And they and 13-year-old daughters, right? 13-year-old girls are following that same modus operandi. They walking down those same, you know, paths, following in those same footsteps.
Yeah, and tying back to a little bit of the show topic there, it's like it's impossible for us to protect them if we're not in a relationship with them where we can offer correction. Like if we can't correct them, we can't protect them.
If you're not in the home.
Yeah, not in the home. We definitely not even present then.
I mean, if we get down to the root of protection, if you're not in the physically vicinity, you can't protect. But there's different levels of protection, right? But to physically protect, like in this case, you got to be there. And if they don't want us to be there, I can't protect you physically.
I want my child to be protected, but I sent my husband away so that my child cannot be protected because I want to do what I want to do.
Correct.
Now, again, if a man is in that house, right, that 20-year-old doesn't even think about going to that house and messing with that 13-year-old girl because he already know what that's coming with. But let's say he's stupid enough to try to do something like that. How a man would handle that is completely different. Oh, he's dead underneath her bed.
Well, we all understand one thing. If it's a man there, it's his house. That's how men think. Right. We don't look at it as the girl we dating house or the woman house. That's Mr. Johnson house. That's not Susan house. If that's what you understand. That's Mr. Johnson house.
But you hear, oh, you live with your mama, and that makes them a lot more, emboldened to go and do something like that. Like he snuck in that house at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Exactly.
I mean, here's another thing. Like as like a 20-year-old, he probably should have his own spot. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even be feeling comfortable like going like creeping into some chick's place. Like, I mean, no.
Yeah, this dude's a predator.
Yeah,
like a 13-year-old.
But
let me play this again. Like, I know you.
I'm willing to bet. I'm gonna say this much. That's not the first time he came to that house, and I'm willing to bet necessarily the mom knows that he's probably been coming to the house. It's just that she ain't getting her cut.
You don't know how true that is. I was thinking that. That's what the whole Precious movie, like these movies, these archetypes, these movies work so well because the characters are rooted in the reality. So when people see the movie, they get physically touched. Because a lot of us haven't talked about these things because we don't go to therapy. But that's truer than we want to admit. I mean, just look at how I don't appeal to Sexy Red, but there's something in them that they needed Sexy Red to okay. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not so much entertainment. It's not so much entertainment as that's why I keep coming back to the mental health part. It's not so much entertainment as something that helps them cope. It's a coping mechanism. That's because it's not entertainment. It's not entertainment.
Like, I want to be in a group. It's like you got to remember the nature of women is to always be in a group, right? So I can't be in a group with the regular women. I can't be in a group with them other women, or I can't be in a group with them other women. But I can be in a group with the hoes. So I'm a group of hoes.
Because I'm broken.
So
correct.
And I know it's Sexy Red.
Well, another side to this too is that like it's there's the issue of transgression, and like what you have with Red is like you have like a visible, physical, tangible symbol of transgression. And so then once she does it, then it's like, okay, well, then everybody else can do it because it's like, okay, yeah, now we've just gotten that whole, and it's just before her anyway. I mean, it's not like all on Sexy Red, honestly. I mean, this is more along the lines of a continuum, like kind of like going
it's an evolution.
It's an archetype.
Yeah,
the fact
going
that
from this.
Red, it's just like Little Nas X, but we don't talk about the comparison. Sexy Red, it's sex, it's red. The whole the aspect that you're getting at, the sinister aspect of it is all rooted in part of it. They need that in them because that's the part that they're living out. They want to live out their lives as demons, right? So they need a cheerleader, right? So this
I need my I'm on team demon, bro.
They need a physical example. They need a visual example.
It's ideology, right? That's what the Bible is about. Those of us who believe in God, right? And they don't go to church. And they couldn't go to church and be these people because they would be
No.
They
do go to church. A lot of them do go to church, though. You'd be surprised, man. The church is very welcoming of that worldliness today. You know,
you're right.
The yeast essentially has crept up in the church. So the church, I was raised in the church, grew up in it. Matter of fact, I recently just said fuck the church about a couple years ago.
I mean, think about what you're saying. What you're saying when you think about it. Yeah, think about what we're talking. This is the evolution of female degradation in hip hop. Before Sexy Red and Glorilla, who was it? It was on top. It was Meg Thee Stallion. No, before. No, hold on. After that, it was Meg Thee Stallion. Hold on, Meg Thee Stallion. What's her face? Who sang WAP with her, and Nicki Minaj. Then, Cardi B. Because remember, Minaj was flaunt her backside a lot when she did that song Anaconda. And then before that, it was Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown. And how those two were like trying to flaunt their sexuality and everything about it while doing hip hop. It was, and because all of them were bragging about being hoes and bitches and everything.
It has
so like, and then even before that, then you had that whole that whole free love era, like of what the 70s or whatnot. That whole hippie.
That was the 60s.
60s,
the 70s, yeah. And then the 80s, it had to be skirt. It was like they hit the brakes because of HIV/AIDS.
We did have female rappers though in the 80s and the 90s. I was telling my wife about that. Like we had the Queen Latifahs, and like we just talked about that show. That show was a female rapper. She was so popular as a female rapper. She transitioned into that shows. Like that was a female rapper show. So we had people that were that big, and she made movies and produced her own films. It wasn't like when people say, y'all, not only did we have female rappers, but they were huge, like so big that they transitioned into television and movie. So we had the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, who else came? Yo-Yo, you know what I'm saying? It was a song I told my wife, you remember that song that Brandy remixed with all the female rap? Like, so we had an era where we had a dominant female scene that wasn't like it is now. And that remix was one of the celebratory moments of those that female set. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all remember that song.
And what movie was the biggest black film? One of the biggest movies that black men were drawn to? Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, my bad.
Set It Off. How Stella Got a Groove Back.
Yeah.
Anything with them as a lead character.
Terry McMillan.
Mr. Yeah, don't forget what's her name? Forgot her. Layla something. She and Tim Robbins in or no, not Tim Robbins, Tim something in Lovings, Mr. and Mrs. Lovings. Talking about Lovings versus Virginia.
Oh yeah,
Leela Rashawn. That's what I'm looking for. Leela Rashawn. Leela Rashawn.
Yeah, you talking about?
No, it was
Sanaa Lathan.
No, not Sanaa Lathan. Leela Rashawn. Layla Rashawn.
Oh, Leela Rashawn.
Yeah, Layla Rashawn. You know, I remember seeing first time I saw her was on the Wayans Brothers show. You know, as Shawn Wayans' love interest in the first couple seasons. But when she played Mr. and Mrs. Love, when she played in Mr. and Mrs. Loving, she played what's her face, and we saw like women, you know, the whole thing about black women and interracial dating back then. It was okay back then. Diane Carroll was married to a white man. You had Cicely Tyson, was she involved? No, Cicely Tyson wasn't.
Talked about
Whoopi Goldberg, but yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, yeah. Ross. But I'm talking about back Diana in the Ross. Go back to Diana Ross. Thank you, Diana Ross.
Rich one too.
Yeah, so the whole point of it all being like, oh, so revolutionary and all of that stuff, like, it's
yeah,
not. It's
not. It's been going on for history. Black women have always been marrying white men like that. But when black men were getting involved with women of other races, all hell broke loose.
Yeah,
that's cool. When you do it, then give out. I do it though.
Maya Angelou, Dorothy Dangerous, they were all married. Eartha Kitt was married. Was married to a white man, and she had a daughter, and her daughter is Kit. His name's Kit. Kit McDonald. When you look at her, you're like shocked because to find out that she was the daughter of a black woman. Because you look at her, she passes for white. That's one of the things they want. Nina Simone, yeah. Was Nina Simone? No. Was Nina Simone involved with a white woman? With a white man, sorry?
Yeah, but I don't know if she got married or not. Like, probably not married though.
No.
Involved, yes.
No.
So that's that's the thing. Like, so the percentage that actually get married is still like low, always has been low. But like the actual dealing with them is a whole nother
that was pretty common.
Story.
That was pretty common.
It's the prisoner.
So all this getting excited. All this excited over Bryce and them and whoever the next one is with Love Island and all that stuff is all a bunch of excitement for nothing.
Hold on. When we talk about Love Island, bro, the only women who go to Love Island are divestors.
It does seem like that, doesn't it?
No. By default, the only people you see that go to Love Island are divestors. The divestors, bro. They made sure it was from the beginning, from the beginning of that show's quote unquote inception till now. Those are the only people who go. So that's literally filtering out. So the people who are picking the people who even come there are filtering out different quote unquote groups of women and only choosing from that pool. It's the same way when they get, let's say, certain people from like different backgrounds when they come to the United States. They filter out the ones who would be, let's say, more lenient to the Black American issues, and then they bring even the ones who would be more or less necessarily compliant for what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, it's Divestor Island. It ain't Love Island, it's Divestor Island. That's a good point, bro. That's a good point.
Hey, before Love Island.
Go ahead.
Yeah, before Love Island, there was The Bachelorette. Remember? First time they had a black woman on the Bachelorette, and all the suitors were mostly white men.
And it was one of the highest rated. Remember, they were surprised at how high the ratings were. People on the edge of their couch watching that shit.
Who's she gonna choose? Who's she gonna choose? That is a black woman's dream right there. That is a black woman's dream right there. Being on The Bachelorette or something like that, and you have a plethora of white men to pick from.
Come on.
Oh, not just one.
They're not our women. They not. It's the prisoner of war, man. It's like if you look at slavery for what it was, like they don't see themselves as when white men don't see them as our women either. That's why going back to what I said earlier, the white men only date the best of them. We get beat up for these conversations. We get beat up for these conversations, but like I said before, it's true. We get beat up for these conversations and make delineation, but the white man is watching the same, and the white man don't want to bonnet either. The white man don't want to weave either. Ain't that something, y'all? It's 12 years she ain't wore a weave or a bonnet, but he don't get beat
She wore her natural hair.
Yeah, he don't get beat up for these standards because he knows what he wants out of a black woman, just like black men know what they want out of a woman. He wants a woman. He doesn't even want something that's odd or weird. He just wants a woman, right? If I'm gonna date a white woman, if I'm gonna date a black woman, I want a woman with real hair. You have the ability to do it, so you should do it. I don't know why black men don't make you do it, but you're gonna do it here. We're not the only ones seeing this thing happening, you guys. We just the only ones that get
perfect timing. Perfect timing. Look at it this way. Since you brought up slavery and said they're not y'all women and everything, I remember if y'all remember the original series of Roots, where there was a woman that Kunta Kinte liked back in his native country, and she was taken on that slave ship with him. He went back and he was trying to escape, he was looking for her back with him. But there was that scene where she told her, "My name is no longer Fanta. It's Maggie. I don't speak that African talk no more. My mind is already colonized. I can't go back. I don't know where to go." Even though he wanted to escape, he was hell bent. There was that scene. That was the episode where he got his foot chopped off, by the way.
Over a woman, over her.
Dang,
over her. He kept trying to, because remember, he fell for her back in the Gambia. That was the daughter of an upper class Mandinka man played by O.J. Simpson. You know, yeah, but O.J. Simpson had cornrows in that show, but the fact that her mind is colonized, she's given up and she's colonized and she's accepted her fate. He refused to accept his. He said, "My name is not Toby, it's Kunta Kinte. I become Margaret, or Maggie for short. I can no longer be Fanta. Where am I going to go?"
In less than a generation.
Within a generation, right there, the first generation. Think about the colonization, the process.
You know, right now, I brought this up before. Right now, we had the same thing happening with this conflict in the Middle East. So in my neighborhood, it's like 300 of these people, right? And you know what I noticed? I brought this up before. All the white people, they still look at me in this nice neighborhood, but they don't look at them. They're not seeing the things I see. And there's all these driving schools that are popped up. And the driving people keep getting in accidents in California and people like losing their lives. You look in the driving school car and there's a woman in the hijab and 3/4 of cloth. This Western society is powerful. Like, and I work in medicine, right? So another thing you see is they are surgeons and nurses, and then they get divorced. This Western society, like, they know, and the men know, don't bring your wife here. If your wife come to America, if your daughter come to America, it's impossible. This whole thing, like today, inspired us to talk about black men. But if you look at those men who have the patriarchy, when they come to Western society, I see them lose their wives, and immediately they got to give in. The wives are driving now. All of these women are learning how to drive for the first time in America. Why? What happened in America? What happened when you got to America that you lost the ability? What happened to your patriarchy? You didn't change as a man.
Wait a minute. Which nationality are we talking here? Wait, hold on. I gotta speak on this one. I gotta speak on this.
Middle Eastern men. I'm talking about Middle Eastern men. Most of them.
But which nationalities? Because No. There's a reason I gotta push back here because I grew up in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? I grew up there. I was born and raised there. So when you say the first time women ever got to drive, I call bullshit unless they're from one particular country. And that country is only like about less than a decade ago started allowing women to drive.
Like Saudi Arabia?
Everywhere. Saudi Arabia, KSA, they started allowing women to drive just not too long ago. The other countries in that Middle East, women have always had the right to drive. They've had that right to drive.
So it's just that they can't go without their male relatives.
Yeah, I mean, they can go without their male. They can drive a car. Nobody's going to stop them from driving a car, whether or not they have a male relative. That's normalized. But in the kingdom, as large as it is, they were like saying no, this, that, and the third. It was only until it was no longer economically viable to keep them locked down. They said, all right, let them drive by royal decree.
So, look, I'm not trying to insult nobody. I'm saying what I'm experiencing in real life. That there's a phenomenon with the influx of immigrants from a certain part of the world, and they have on 3/4 of cloth, they have on hijabs, and they're all women learning how to drive for the first time in America. And I've seen it in the Kaiser, in the hospitals, the same thing. When my Middle Eastern colleagues in tech, when they come here, they are getting divorced at very high rates. And to today's topic, it's something about Western society makes it impossible for them to protect them in the same patriarchal way that they did before they came here.
There's no pimping, bro. Nah. See, y'all making it real difficult, bro. It's not that difficult when you understand the reality of how females operate holistically and naturally, bro. They naturally only work off carrot and stick. Girl, you are rewarded for this. You do this, I'm gonna break your face. You do this necessarily well, necessarily you be rewarded, necessarily you don't do this, you gotta live out there in the mountains. If you do this correctly,
women are allowed.
If you do something else, motherfucker, we gonna stone you to death.
Now,
to Usual's point,
well, before
he's basically saying, no, I'm just gonna sum it up like this.
So in America,
women are allowed to be as hypergamous as they want, as much as society allows them to.
Correct.
So in certain countries, they can conduct themselves a certain way, in others they cannot. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no,
this is your show, sir. My bad.
I want to circle back in on this whole Love Island thing because believe it or not, there are actually like black couples in Love Island.
Yeah,
blacks don't care about black women like that.
Yeah, the energy was weird. I didn't feel like I was liked in the villa. I'm not gonna lie and be honest. So I'm thinking like, okay, like we're gonna get booted. They're all gonna vote. No, really. I'm like, we're gonna get booted. They're all gonna vote for, their friends. And you know what I mean? The energy was just like, okay, they don't I feel like they didn't really like us like that. That's how I feel. Okay. You know what I mean? I can't put that on anybody. Maybe it's not true, but I feel like we weren't as liked. So I'm like, if we get on that stage and it's, us against another couple and they gotta vote for something, they're gonna boot our ass. Yeah. Period. Yeah. So, the fact that we were top 4 compatible, I'm like we still here. Another couple days, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like, we didn't win it all. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I feel like that was, we won each other, and that was the biggest W. That was the biggest W because it validated everything we've been doing. Yeah. With limited screen time. Yeah. Limited screen time. So
honestly, what I could say about that, it was just very, disappointing. You know what I mean? Like you get outside of a reality TV show, you come home, you get on your phone, and you see these big brands, kind of bashing you.
So like to see all those brands and to see certain,
I think that was telling. Like, and shout out to Only Logical, but like big brands bashing them. Like that's where you get into this whole. That's where you get to really see that there is like this big mainstream push against this whole black love narrative. Like,
come on, man. You seen the Cheerios commercial? You seen the Super Bowl commercial? Every commercial is a mixed couple. That's what brands shitted on because they can't market that. The brands want that Cheerios commercial moment. And that fight is over, man. That fight is over.
Man, all I'm gonna say is as simple as like this, bro. When it comes to that situation with the love, they chose the proper people, and when you look at the reality of it, all the white men on there who already had made their choice, there was no quote unquote choice to be left, right? If I just watched like one episode, I know I watched 2 episodes of the shit, and I kind of got the understanding what the show was, right? when people started making their choice of who they were gonna be with, all the white women went to most majority of the white men. The one or two white men that were left over, they got them the top quality looking black woman, and what was left was just that. So even then, bro, y'all be out here trying to do this like this like, oh my God, it's black. Like, no.
What happened, bro?
Your option is me or nobody, and then you choose me. It's not because you like me or anything. It's just that you just don't want to be the only woman out here by yourself, quote unquote. So let's be honest.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're gonna make me go watch it. Did y'all hear what he said? He said the most beautiful whites got with the most beautiful whites. The leftover whites got the pick of the litter of the black women.
That's how it always been, man.
That is powerful to today's topic. How can you protect? This is what I said earlier about the slavery and the prisoner of war. The ugliest of the ugly, the leftover, got the pick of the litter.
And we got left with the scrap, and y'all got left with the scraps.
Come on,
y'all got left with the scraps.
She won't. Oh my God! Like that's how can you protect that?
You cannot protect someone who witnesses, especially some of these women who know they cannot be picked by the dominant society, and they resent the fact that they can't be picked. But instead of looking at themselves, try to deal with the truth, they'd rather turn on you and make your life a living hell just to make themselves feel the better. But that is just a fleeting. That's just a fleeting sense, and they got to keep doing it more and more just to get more that feeling. They use y'all as punching bags, and you need to get out of there.
Yep.
Go ahead.
The designated scapegoat. I'm gonna play the rest of this, and then I'm gonna go because there's like one more little part to it too. This part, and then another little part to it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how they were treated.
Be on the KC and TT hate train. How did that affect you mentally?
I think in the beginning I was just like, whatever, like it is what it is. And then I think when I started seeing like, people supporting that, people supporting, putting both of us down, it kind of like irked me in a way, especially like when you see people that in real life, like kind of on a hate train and like, F, TT and KC, they're losers. I was like, dang, like, you know what I mean? Like people talking down on me that I don't know, like it is what it is, like cool. But like when it's people that in real life, and they doing what's popular, like that's lame, bro.
Yeah, it's lame, and that definitely affected me a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
what hurt me the most, to see on my phone was like, okay. I feel like what bothered me the most, of course, like we know, like racism exists.
Yeah.
Like America and the whole world's always going to be racist, especially towards our people, and that's unfortunate. But I feel like the most disheartening part about it all was to see my own people on the hate train and to see my own people making memes about me. Whew.
It's okay.
Yeah, I feel like that bothered me more.
Jump on.
I don't take none of that shit serious,
Black American.
Because if you actually seen the first 2 episodes, my bad.
Okay, I'm gonna just wrap it up real quick with this one here. Like, so he like, so basically it's like people jumping on that whole hate train, and big corporations or big like big entities jump in on that hate train, and people just kind of like rocking with what's pop. And then you see like a whole lot of like black people like disparaging a black couple for reasons. I mean,
hold on, bro. Hold on. We lying to ourselves again, bro. You have people, you have the divestment crowd. These are still, I ain't gonna say, I don't know what percentage you want to say that part of Black America, whatever, but these people who are already traded out mentally and physically. Some people want to trade out, some people just can't trade out. And they have already divorced themselves from the Black community and wholesale. So when I see people who already are divestments talking about this shit, like they already gone. Like, you know what I mean? That's like literally somebody who's saying like, hey, bro, I'm on your team. And then they say, hey, bro, I'm changing teams. And all of a sudden you see them over there fraternizing with the enemy. And then you like, but bro, I thought you was on my team. I told you I turned in my uniform last week.
Well, but here's the problem with that. Like, so when she's talking about the people that were jumping on that hate train, like, and then some of the people that are actually pushing the propaganda is like, so some of these folk are people that are married to black men. Like, so it's like, it's not even like divestors for real. It's like people that are just in this ideology.
No. The greatest divestments. I don't know if y'all be on the cesspool that is Twitter, bro. But you know, I have been through the muck. I climb through the muck. So when you see that most of the people who are the most, you know, vitriol, you know, quote unquote, I hate black folks, so and so, bro, they got black husbands, they got black sons, they got black boyfriends. I'm telling you, I'm seeing this shit, bro. And you be surprised that you can almost tell where they're from by almost how they dress the situation. How the African women that come over here and get on that shit, how they dress the situation, right? Like they don't want to say quote unquote their men, so they try to let's tell you blanket it, right? And then how the Caribbean women, they want to say all men necessarily, right? But then kind of lean towards black men, and then American women who like to be real slick, but they're to say black men. And if you actually even listen to the word in a dictionary and how they even word and the words that they choose, you can almost tell where they're from and everything by how they coming off of it. Man, I know this to be
It's a both and though. Like you have like both the divestors and you have anti-black misanders. Like you have the people that are anti-black misanders, but they're not actually getting down with the white guys like that. Like so,
they can't. The divestments and the anti-black misanders are the same group of people. The ones are the top the quote unquote divestments are the ones who have the pretty, the have the beauty, they have the education, they have enough money to quote unquote to actually achieve what they want. They're all in the same boat. It's just that necessarily I'm better than you, so this the hierarchy, bitch.
What do the rest of y'all think about that? Do you think there's a distinction between the anti-black misanders and the divestors, or do you think it's the same group?
There's an overlap between the two groups. They're distinct, but you can also find an overlap. There can be an overlap between the two groups. They're not always necessarily one and the same.
Yeah, I think they're in superposition.
If you ever look at quote unquote, I don't know if I ever do. I got this thing that I look at, right? I don't know, it's just interesting to me, right? Court politics in China, right? When they have the concubine system, right? They're all concubines. Right. They're all concubines. They all getting fucked. But it's but see what I'm saying? No, I'm mistress enlightened one, so I get this kind of benefits. No, I'm the anointed concubine, so I get this position, and it's their own hierarchy of the concubines, right? But you're all prostitutes, basically. Same thing in Japan, right? You have the quote unquote the
courtesans, not the geisha. The courtesans.
The courtesans, no, the geishas are still fucking prostitutes, bro. This is the high class.
No. Geisha is just a difference.
Oh, let me finish. A geisha is still a prostitute, but she is the highest level of prostitution, right? So she may not do as much fucking personally necessarily as like she, instead of like the average woman may have to go do it like 4 or 5 times a day to any dude with enough coin, whatever, right? The geisha is only giving her services out necessarily, and she provides other smaller services on the side. For the top 1% necessarily. It's like the same way when we call a woman a courtesan. A courtesan is still a prostitute, but the highest level of a prostitute.
I have a better, more apt analogy, actually, something that's better than all of this. I think of this in terms of...
I'll look up a geisha here. Hang on, let me look up a geisha.
I have a better analogy. I think that a better analogy would be the difference between an electrician and a plumber. A plumber is not an electrician, and an electrician is not a plumber, but they both work to build the house of white supremacy.
Same for a carpenter, for that matter.
Yeah, wrong on that one. I'm sorry, but
it's like both parts are still dealing with the same institution. I'm gonna get to the rest.
What I'm saying is the anti-black misanders and the divestments. When you look at the divestments, right, they're usually the ones. The one usually, right, when you usually look at them, right, they're usually the quote unquote. They're usually on the better looking side. Right. if you what's that chick that's out here with BGS calls it a 3, a Resident 4 or a Resident 3? I forgot her name.
I don't know. I would kind of disagree with that because I mean I see plenty. There's still plenty of not so cute divestors.
You mean Fort Harriet? What's her face from Fort Harriet?
Yeah, Fort Harriet. Yeah.
What's her face from Fort Harriet? Yeah.
They're not.
No, her website's called Fort Harriet. Fort Harriet. What's her name?
In any
event, they're not all
cute. They're not.
Yeah,
like some are, some are not, but they're not all cute.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that there is still always going to be a hierarchy, right? But what I'm saying is the ones who the divestments, who the ones champion, right? The ones who's like, oh my God, that's the one. Those are usually the ones who look better, right? The other ones basically fall into the quote unquote black misandry thing because they can't quote unquote get the white man, right? Or they can't get the quote unquote the non-dude to look at them, right? Non-black dude to look at them, right? So they're in the same camp. The hierarchy necessarily, the quote unquote the ones who actually get the title of divestment. Like you got to look at it. Y'all looking at it from a man's point of view. You have to look at it
from
the female point of view and turn off 80% of your brain. I promise you, bro.
Nah,
I'm
the
not
ones
saying
that get into the ones that get like heavily pushed in social media actually looked okay, but like the ones that are like divestors, like no, they can look good, they can look bad, they can look big, they can look small. There's all shapes and sizes of the divestors, like that for real.
I know. Let's see. Yeah. What I'm saying is the anti-black misandrous ones, whatever, right? Those are still divestments. Those are divestments who just can't divest. So they don't have that. So they may try to claim the title. Some may claim it or whatever, right? But they try to mix it over, right? Because once you know you can't get the white man, right? You demote yourself down back to being misandrous. You understand? You got to look at that. If you look at court politics amongst the prostitutes, just to say, or the concubines, it's the same shit. I am more favored by the king, so I am exalted queen, so and so and so and so, right? The other chick is courtesan, something, rain, water, whatever, right? It's the same system, right? But it's tiers within the system, right?
Yeah.
And where the woman fall in that necessarily within that system, she's always trying to quote unquote punch up to the other system.
Yeah. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I think you're getting the terms mixed up of usual, because first of all, a courtesan and a concubine are not the same. A concubine is basically a concubine is a side piece, basically, within a harem. A courtesan is a prostitute, but she's for the upper class. But a geisha is not like that, necessarily, because you have courtesans in Japanese culture, and then the geishas is something else. Because geishas, their thing was to entertain people, not provide that type of intimacy. There's certain things that we have to look into. But if you ever looked up the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, you might see what I mean. Where Zhang Ji plays a unique girl who becomes very favored as a geisha because they'd never seen an Asian girl with blue eyes.
I'm gonna tell you this much, bro. If you ever go to Japanese society, I've been there for 2 years, bro. If you actually truly go down and actually absorb the information
and read the history, I'll do that.
The geisha is simply the highest level of the quote unquote the prostitutes, bro. She's just the highest level. So she don't do as much fucking as the rest of them. She does more music. She does a lot of other things extra on the side, right? But best believe she's still throwing that monkey too.
All right, let me play the rest of this.
You know, I just feel like we need to stick together to see so many black women who look just like me, and my aunties, my sister, my mom, like to see black women pick up their phone and to talk about how much they hate TT, another black woman who they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you get this, you spin false narratives about me, and you don't even know me as a person.
Yeah.
You know, you take small little clips and you just make it a big old, you know, you come up with these false ideas and you don't know us.
Yeah.
You don't.
The biggest thing, you know, I feel like for both of us, when we turn the comments back on,
yeah.
boy,
like
I was just like, this is crazy. Like I knew there was gonna be like people that's upset.
Right.
Rightfully so, I get it, whatever, cool.
But you know, when you photoshopping, you know, me in a dress, when you photoshopping my girlfriend as a gorilla, like that's like, you feel me? Like, what? You're weird, bro.
Yo,
Like you're weird.
That is
Yeah. So that, like that whole, okay, Photoshop her as a gorilla type thing, like, and put him in a dress type of thing. It's just like these coming from people that ostensibly look like you. Like there's nothing. There's no redeeming quality to that. There's no excuse for that. Like I don't care how much you're inundated by the ideology. It's like no, you've kind of full on surrendered yourself.
You're a white supremacy. Like I mean,
did you see her surprise? Did you see how surprised she was? Like to today's topic and what we talk about a lot, the brother understood. If we watch that again, we can't. Sometimes when I do this shit, inspire. You gotta play this shit 3 times, especially for comprehension. We have low comprehension. The brother was aware. You guys remember that what he said, right? I got it. I understood. If we got on the stage, what was gonna happen? She wasn't aware. She was completely caught off guard and naive by all of it. By the white folks and especially her own people. Is that not shocking to some of you?
No. This is where I have to go out and get the reality.
In an ignorant way that we're ignorant of this, but in the conversation that we're having today, I'm not saying anyone is ignorant, but isn't that shocking how she is completely unaware? The brother knows. I said this earlier when I was talking about you, bro, when you was talking about not changing the Muay Thai. He knew. And I was trying to bring that home, how you are forced to not change and be who you are. She is like shocked. She was visibly shaken. He knew.
She's not. Hold on. See, the reason, I'm going to be honest with you, right? It's 2 things how you look at this in 2 ways, right? I keep telling you, when people say women don't know and this, and that, right? You cannot manipulate. Women are known throughout the entire world, from here to Africa to whatever, their power of manipulation, right? Like you even read books when women are good manipulators, right? To be a good manipulator must mean you must understand what you are manipulating, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So she knows. She just didn't believe it was going to be turned against her. It's the same way in a sense where you quote unquote, you got your puppy or whatever, right? You think your puppy, you've been training your puppy for a minute.
We're saying the same thing then. We said, I'm just bringing that part out. I'm bringing that part out to today's. You can't protect that. You can't protect them. Do you see what I'm saying? This brother knew, and if she was on the same page, then he would be able to protect her. You follow, bro? You are intelligent. We are saying the same thing. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that prohibits us from being the leaders that we want and need to be. Right? Because that she is Go ahead.
I would say your ability to be a leader is just necessarily, there's not hinders. Like this, right? As a leader, your job is to put the person on your team that's going to properly do what they're supposed to do. Because I've been a lead before, right? So like I've been a lead when I was in EMS. I went to a paramedic. I had an individual right under my 2 lids, right? So that basically meant I get to pick my my EMT. I picked my EMT, right? So the EMT that I picked was actually was one of the best cadets from his school, right? And he was willing to listen, and I can able to pass on the knowledge that I had to him. That's what I was working. So for me, it's as simple as that.
Team. Yeah, that means
like, I know on my team. I'm not gonna have no EMT that's saying I want to push 20 liters of this or 20 cc's or some other shit that I said don't push. Fuck though, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah. Huh? But it is simply as you picking the right person for the right job.
We saying the same thing, bro. I agree. You got to have a good team. I just want to pull that out. So I won't even say that he picked a bad teammate because he, you know what I'm saying? I'm just pointing out the fact that it was obvious to him, and black men, a lot of these truths that we discuss in nauseam are obvious to us, right? These are understood. What's understood don't have to be understood. But to the woman that we have to protect, which makes it impossible for us to protect, these things are not understood.
See, that's what we keep on disagreeing that. You keep saying she don't. You keep saying she don't understand. I'm telling you, she understands. She didn't believe it was going to be turned against her. That's the difference between what I'm saying. No. We are saying fundamentally two different things. It sounds close, but it's different. What I am simply saying, she understands what's going on. She's lying because she didn't believe we're gonna be turned against her, right? It's like your brother necessarily. You call your brother to go beat somebody else, or whatever, right? It's like your brother, you call him to beat somebody else, but one day he turns around and slaps you for doing it.
Her not knowing that it would be turned on her is a lack of understanding that puts us at a disadvantage as a team. To your point about EMT, her lack of understanding puts us as a disadvantage and puts me as a disadvantage of a leader. And the fact that, and this is another true part that you're saying that makes it so insidious. The fact that I know that she understands makes it even worse.
All right, I'm gonna have to leave it.
You with me? The fact that she's been trained as an EMT and you still not listening to somebody who can tell you better and you can learn from, and you pretending as if you don't know. How can I protect you, teach you, lead you, which is all part of it in the patriarchy? If you are so willingly naive,
go ahead, perfect timing. Go ahead. Tell them.
Come on, it's willing ignorance. I love how you put it. If you're so willingly ignorant. If you're so willingly ignorant, how can I protect you? How can I lead you? And it makes it even more insidious that they understand.
She said,
they hate you.
I'm gonna let you have the last. I'm gonna let you have the last word on that particular topic. I'm gonna go on to the closing thoughts for everybody that wants to get in their closing in. I was gonna wait for GBR, but I don't see him up yet. So if you want to come into like the back chat for a little bit, we could chop it up for a few minutes, a good like 20 minutes or so, before I get into another Zoom thing. But let's see, who should I start with first?
Please, start with me first, bro. Please start.
You want to do first?
I want.
I'll be last.
All right, it's simple today. Well, it's simple to me. Like when people say, "Well, women can't do and women can't do." No, from here to Africa to America to China to Japan to every stand country in the world, everybody and every person, every man understands women know how to manipulate. Right? You can only manipulate something that you understand how to manipulate it. Right? When people understood how to manipulate sand and turn it to you turn it to glass, right? When people started learning how to do metallurgy, we started turning and forging swords and beams and other steel mechanics that the world didn't know of. Once we understood how to properly manipulate, we started doing that. So when I hear all these people say they don't know, they can't understand, or women say I don't know, I didn't understand, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's the lie that they tell to you. That's the lie that they tell to themselves. But trust me, they understand, bro. They always understand.
All right. So from there, we're going to go over the perfect timing because you are next in this clockwise order. I'm going to go clockwise from left to right, basically.
So thank you for having me up, bro. Been a great conversation, man. I'll tell everybody, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when our brother is live. Saturday, this morning conversation is always great to have. I would just say to the protection, like the things that we brought out, and the last thing that was said, in order to be able to be a good protector or a leader or teacher, yeah, you got to have a fundamental understanding of what it is to have a good, strong team. So I would leave it on that, right? And not put so much burden on yourself because a lot of the discussion about protection, it always seemed to be shifted more upon the man, like it's a one-sided discussion. And I hope the one thing that somebody young or not in a relationship understood from today is protection in the relationship sense is never one-sided. It's never 100% on one person or one party. I hope you understood that from the discussion. So salute. Thank you for allowing me up.
Thank you. Ton of Runner, you're up.
Yeah, I got knocked off because my wife called and wanted to know how the food was and wanted to make sure that everything was at high quality and up to my level.
I hope a fly getting all your food, bro.
And that and fresh juice for lunch. And so, but I just want y'all to realize, every black man, there's a bunch of people out here who don't want to see us happy. And we have to realize that no matter what you do, there's a bunch of people that don't want to see you happy. So you have to be happy for yourself and do the right thing, because there are going to be some people who will hate you no matter what you do. So stay strong and protect yourself at all times. Peace.
Good words, wise wisdom. Up next, Mr. Ruffin.
Salute to you, gentlemen. Very spirited discussion, very spirited debate. But unfortunately, as illustrious as everybody is on the panel, all you niggas are wrong. You need to update your social rule book. The only protection you owe anybody, the only protection that you are obligated to help a woman, give that her a box of condoms or $3.99 so she can go to the drugstore herself. It's called the police. It's called the police. If she's in trouble, and I'm talking about your wife too, and I'm gonna break it down in two aspects. Number one, for my Christian brothers, what did God say? In the end, I give Satan power over the land. So the fact that you trying to be lead and providers and all the things that the Holy Bible talks about is going against God's very prophetic plan. Because he said, in the end, the prince of the air is going to rule the world. And what is that? He comes to destroy. So in Babylon, nigga, women are independent. Right? So and here you come, Johnny come save them, going against very God plan. You're out of order, nigga. Now, to my not so Christian brothers, hey, are we bushcraft? Are we living in stone ass houses and logwood? Hell no. We live in the 21st century. It's called police. It's called apps, niggas. It's called cell phones, the digital economy, including your wife. When you're sitting at the dinner table with your wife and your kids who don't have your blood, she don't. Odd man out, nigga. And I pass it there.
That was hot.
Who don't have your blood?
He said, who don't have your blood? Odd man out, boy. Jesus.
All right, GBR, you're up next.
Oh man, hey man, hey fellas, what's happening, man? See, this I like this man because he always say the best for last. This is what he does.
I didn't even get a chance to say anything. Damn it.
After that,
Y'all can go after me. I'm last.
I have to agree partially with the brother come before me. You know, man, the law of the land should be the law of God, man. And even in the beginning, he said, God said, a woman's heart shall be for her husband, and he shall rule over her. The problem we're having is we're afraid to rule. We're afraid to tell these women that we are the rulers, and we will be the rulers. And the only way they should be in our lives is that they submit to being under our cover. You got Jesus, the husband, the wife, and the children. We report up. That's the only way it's supposed to go. And until we accept that as men and start implementing that as men, regardless of what these women say, we ain't gonna never have no peace in our homes. I'm laying right there.
That's literally the opposite of what I just said. See, niggas, this is what I mean. Listen,
I tried to make you look good. You just want to say
you had to close it. You had to close it. I gotta
give put hot sauce last, man. You already know this nigga gotta have the last word, man. Here we go, man. You might as well just put him last, man.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let y'all go on. Y'all go on. But hey, man, suffer, niggas. That's all I gotta say.
Bronk you up. I see you got your you don't have it on mute.
Come on, bro.
That's God.
Oh, Bronk.
God.
Bronk got a good show. GBR come up at the end and start
to mess him up.
I saw him go off of mute and on mute.
Bronk 1, Bronk 2, Bronk 3.
All right, Neymar.
Bronx still dating that black woman. That's what that is. She didn't listen.
It's fire
Yeah,
truth. It's fire
the
truth.
black woman is that. Okay.
Are you hearing me or no? Are you hearing me
We
or
can
no?
hear you.
Oh wait,
I can hear
got
you.
Bronx back.
You back.
We got Bronx back.
I guess I switched back from my mic to my headset. So,
No, he
all
said
right.
skip him.
Yeah. Was it with that or you were busy with something else?
No, I don't know what happened. But no, man, they don't deserve our protection at this point. It is not our responsibility to protect women who not follow us. They ask where the black male leaders are. Well, we still here. Y'all just ain't following us anymore. All right. You cannot sit there and protect women who refuse to be under their leadership. It just doesn't make any sense. Just think about it. I mean, is there any organization that a woman will go out and get a job at where if the boss says to do something, she ain't gonna do it? No. But see, they want to operate under a different modus operandi when it comes to the actual code. Don't protect them. If women out here don't have a husband, they're not your responsibility. It's that simple. If they want to be protected, they'll do the things that they need to do to get a husband. So I'll land there, man.
All right, that means you up, Neymar.
Thank you. You know I got to keep it Vanessa Williams and save the best for last. That was a good song, but
I'm gonna be the actual
protection.
last. You the second to last.
Oh, here we go.
Always got an intake. Always got an intake.
Right.
Yeah, we all got an intake. He got me. He is the host. He got had the last word. He's got to give the final thought like Jerry Springer, basically. Anyway, first of all, providing protection. You're not entitled to defend a man. I think we need to also introduce a new concept. Like just everybody talks about how like you have this whole thing called the white knight phenomenon in certain men who are called simps and whatnot, androgynes. We should also think of a concept of the black knight. You become the opposite of a white knight. You refuse to protect someone who is not worthy of it. Someone who might have just hold you in contempt because they think they're entitled to that. You're not entitled to a damn thing, woman. I don't owe you anything, just like you don't owe me. So you go about your business, I'm going to go about my business. And to Kayla Nicole, I'm just going to say two things. I ain't going to provide and protect you. And you can't tell me, you can't tell me to be responsible with my mic because, one, I'm not of you. I'm East African, which means I can be reckless with the mic, however I want. Just like a certain Sudanese down in South Florida, or Sudanese Ethiopian over in Montreal. I can be reckless if I want. But I'm reckless, I'm doing it in a responsible manner. But then again, who would anybody know about being responsibly irresponsible? That's an oxymoron, folks. I'm done.
All right. First and foremost, thank you for everybody that joined in, everybody that came in through the chat. Thank you to Landon for keeping that chat rolling. I want to thank everybody that came up on the panel. This was a whole lot of fun. I told you this was going to be fun. I meant it. I appreciate all y'all for joining me. And for my last words here, like I said it from the beginning, you can only protect that which you can correct. If I can't really correct it, I can't really protect it for real. And I'm not out here trying to be like doing some fake protection, like pretending to protect. And the ladies that might be out there thinking that reducing my boundaries and us men reducing our boundaries is somehow going to be the same thing as protection, that's misdirection. You got to actually deal with actual preventative maintenance if you actually want real protection. And a lot of times some of the ladies might seem like they can change and alter reality. Like, yeah, they might be prone to lying, but the fact that they're lying doesn't mean that they're not also clueless. Both things exist at the same time. They can lie and they can be clueless at the same time, which makes them vulnerable to things that they will need protection for. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. That's food for thought. We'll be back next time around. I think we'll probably do another Black Men on Code for next Saturday. And peace out. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Salute.